Yo,
You
what's what's good? We back with another one, locked in, Dirty Dens, where we break down the culture, hip hop, everything in between with no filter and absolutely no fluff. I'm your host, Just Say Ox. This is my co-host, Jason.
peace.
We're diving into one of the most electrifying parts of culture, battle rap, or should I say rap battles, hip hop battles. Not the friendly kind either. I'm talking lyrical warfare, like assassinations, rare made reputations, destroyed. We talking diss tracks that didn't just hit the charts, they hit the streets, the culture, shook the whole industry.
Society.
And me and Jay gonna break it down today.
All right, let's do it.
It's my hip hop scholar. When I was young, Jay kept me up with the greatest of hip hop. Not even the latest, but the greatest of hip hop. Plenty of nights, Tupac, 24/7.
First
Tragedy
drip.
Gaddafi, 24/7. All the Queens Bridge, Core Mega, Mob Deep, And fun fact, it's one of my cousins between him, Jamal, and
Absolutely.
my sister Tawanda.
Mm-hmm.
They inspired me to actually want to be a rapper. And I got some hits under the Coliseum though. We did a few things. Somebody will tell you about it. Somebody will tell you about it.
Big shout out to Lord J, man. Feel me?
Lord
Like
J.
from fighting to bikes to cars to music to everything, bro. Lord J, man.
See,
Big bro, for real.
and Lord J is my oldest first cousin on our
Yeah.
side of the family. So
Mm-hmm.
he was more of a mystery to me. You dig what I'm saying? As a young dude,
Smart. But
Jay was like a mystery. Like you know what I mean? But he always like yo, real shit. He showed me how to do the beats. He gave me my first microphone. Like that's some shit I'll never forget. You feel me? Like
you talking about
he put me in
you
the game.
talking about from jewelry to cars to music
Cars,
to parties. You just go
cars.
on and go on and go on and go on and go on. He's like the epicenter of all that, bro.
Yeah, especially
The studio nights,
studio nights, bro. Just
studio
being
nights,
young and being able to hang out with my older cousins. That was
the
big.
the basement flavor,
The
bro.
basement flavor. R.I.P. Darlene, but
Word is
I remember
born.
the little song. The
Mm-hmm.
basement flavor.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Word.
So check this out, man. Tonight we're gonna go through 6 of the most legendary battles in hip hop history. And this is our opinion, of course.
Absolutely.
Viewers feel free to comment and let us know what you think. Did we hit the right rap battles? Would you like to hear us talk about more? Your comments are more than welcome. But we talking about MC Shan versus KRS-One.
Mm.
We talking about Ice Cube versus N.W.A. We talking about Tupac, pretty much versus New York, but we're gonna keep it at Bad Boy Records, right? We talk about 50 Cent and Ja Rule, or 50 Cent and Murder Inc. We talking about Jay and Nas. And then last but not least, we talking about the most modern, vicious rap battle that I heard in the last few years. And I would say that would definitely go to Kendrick Lamar and
Right.
Drake.
Right.
All right, so we kicking it off, man, where it all started, man, the Bridge Wars. MC Shan dropped the bridge, 1985, repping Queensbridge hard. Then came the young KRS-One from the
Mm.
Bronx.
Boogie Down Production.
Like, nah, this boom South Bronx hits.
Mm.
And then the bridge is over drop.
Whew.
The song still give a hip hop head chills,
Yeah.
right?
Raw.
KRS came in like a damn Bronx lyrical genius.
Real simple. Real straight to the point. Straight to the point. Articulate. Clear.
It's like it
And
wasn't even a rap beef. It was more like it was borough warfare.
you know, when you listen to the stories from the artists themselves and the the engineers and all that, it's different from the other side of the tracks. You know what I'm saying? Like as a young student of the rap game, I was queensed out. You feel me? Like MC Shan, Morley Moore, Cool G Rap. the whole Juice Crew. Like I was Queensed out. Tragedy Gaddafi, Craig G was my man's, but MC Shan was they big bro. He was big bro of the rap game. You feel what I'm saying? And it was like ain't nobody messing with Shan. Like he was the playboy of the hip hop. You feel me? He had it all. Like the lyrics. Yo, Shan album dropping, bro. You was there. That's it, bro. Like this is the epicenter. Shan, bro. You talking about MC Shan, bro? You know what I mean?
MC Shan.
MC Shan, bro. You feel me? Yeah. But it was still like, all right. So wait for Shan. Wait for Shan response. Wait for Shan to respond to it. And it was almost like a Meek Mills and Drake situation. That's how it happened. It went down just like that. All right, wait for Shan to respond to it. And when Shan responded to it, it was like a Meek Mill versus Drake. You know what I mean? It brought me right back to the modern time. That MC Shan and KRS-One situation was just like a Meek Mill and Drake situation back a few years ago, decade ago. How long ago was that? But it
Yeah,
was just like
it
that.
was a little while ago.
You know how people was like, Meek about to destroy him, you know what I mean? Everybody couldn't wait for that Meek song to come back, and he came back. It wasn't what people wanted, wasn't what they expected, and that's how Shan came back the same way. For all y'all for all y'all that's not privy to those back in the day type flows and all that, it's similar to that. That's how I could say it to those that's young in age right now, to the 80s right there. Like it was just like the Meek Mills and Drake situation, bro. And Shan didn't come. He didn't come fully loaded. You know what I mean? With his vest on, hard hat, and he didn't come with that. You know what I mean? He
And
thought he did this.
it was clear that KRS was hungrier. He was hungrier
Absolutely.
for that
Absolutely.
title because everybody, you got no matter what borough, you wanted to be the king
Right.
in New York,
Right.
right? You
And,
wanted to be the king in New York.
and he went to
KRS
the
was like, "Yo, I'm with it. I'm with the shits. What's up?"
and Shan was the prince. Get that? Shan was called the prince. You feel me? And KRS-One went after him. You know what I mean? And it was like, word, bro, like Shan, bro. Like, and then Shan did the Meek Mills Drake situation, and everybody's like, you can't do this to some shit, but to somebody that just rocks your shit. You feel me? Like, and then KRS-One came back again, killed it, swept him up this time. Feel me? Drilled them right in the middle of the street, basically. And it was like, damn, bro, it's over now. And at that moment in time, that kind of like buried Queensbridge, bro. Real talk. That buried Queensbridge music game. You feel me? Not
For a
saying
minute.
not saying rappers wasn't popping, but that literally buried Queensbridge. That beef right there buried Queensbridge as far as I'm concerned when I was younger. Because the only people that was rocking that people was chasing was Cool G-Rap after that. Like Cool G-Rap, Kane, you feel me? Still listening to Biz and shit like that. Roxanne Shante. But Shan was gone in the wind, bro. And KRS-One took that mantle. D Nice, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
D Nice started popping. It was like, yo, bro, they got it. They ran with it. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? Where that was a
Cool G
that was
Rap.
Cool
Cool G
G-Rap, my
Rap is one of my favorite big bros of hip hop
Cool
of
G-Rap
all
is the
time.
first East Coast gangster.
Like, yeah, Cool G Rap was that nigga.
Cool
Still
G-Rap is
is.
the first
Still
East
is. He
Coast
did some
gangster.
shit. He did some shit with Griselda not too long ago, a couple years ago. And it was like,
Yeah,
yo,
he
this
still
shit is
got it. He
still
still
got
got
it.
it. He
I don't even
still
know how
got it.
old Cool G is. You know what I mean? I ain't
Me
gonna
neither.
Google it. But he's still lyrically one of the best to ever do it, hands down.
Yeah, Cool G-Rap is officially from day one. I'm fly. You know what I mean? I ride around town in my caddy Seville. Yo, Cool G-Rap is the official East Coast original gangster. The triple OG rap gangster of hip hop, bro. Ain't nobody talking about who's talking about the mafia. I got a job with the mob making G's. Come on, man. Ain't nobody was doing that, bro. You know what I mean? Kilos and blah, blah. Nobody was doing that, bro. You
Yeah,
feel me?
He brought
Smith and
that
Wesson.
real street shit into it. Cause that
G-Rap.
was when, cause that would you say back in them days, because we talking about the 80s,
Correct.
where
80s.
party rap was like the biggest part of rap at that time.
Right.
Right? You had the street artists that, they was getting plays in the street, but when it came to what they played on TV and all that other stuff,
Right.
it was more sort of party rap. That's where like your Will Smiths and
Right.
Kid and Play.
But they distinguished
You know,
themselves. G-Rap distinguished himself. He was not that.
absolutely not.
He
Absolutely
was
not.
not that. He distinguished himself from the rip. He was not none of that. You
Yeah.
got a problem, I'm a problem solver. I solve all problems with a 357 revolver. You feel me? That was G-Rap. That's back in the day G-Rap lyric right there. You feel me?
And that's back in the day G-Rap lyric.
That's a back in the day G-Rap lyric, bro.
What was first, N.W.A. or G-Rap? Or did they kind of come on the scene around the same time?
G-Rap. G-Rap
G-Rap
was
was
first.
before
Yeah.
N.W.A.? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Because we
Because
look at the Bronx as starting hip hop, right? Just with the beginning of it, from the break dancing and the DJs
right.
spinning. We kind of dedicate that to the Bronx. Like
The spear,
they
the
said they
tip of the
started.
spear. The tip of the spear, you can say the
But
Bronx, right?
we always look to the West Coast as far as the original creators of gangster rap. That's why I asked that question.
Well, you got the pimps and all that. Like you had Ice-T, right? You had Ice-T. And back in them days, Face. Feel me? Face was the version of G-Rap from a different region. You feel me?
From Texas.
Right. So
Right.
so it was like,
Which, by the way, not to cut you off, but by the way, I give Scarface, to me, he's still the king of the South.
right, Scarface is Scarface.
Personal opinion.
Right.
King of the
Absolutely.
South.
Scarface, once he broke off and he became a solo artist, it was like, yo, he talking that shizak.
Man, it
You
was
feel me?
crazy.
Like,
The way he rode the beats, the way his beats was,
and he
and the way he
still do
wrote
it
them
to this day.
to this
To
day.
this day. You know what I mean? The 90s, he was still doing it. You feel me?
This is artists. Not to go off subject with rap battle, but this is the definition of what an artist is.
Right.
When you look at a Cool G rap, you look at a Nas, you look at a Scarface, right? Like they could put out something today, and you
And
still gonna be like, "Yo, that's the hottest shit I heard this." Like
it's forever.
it's the
It's
hottest shit I
forever.
heard this year
To be
until the
honest with
next
you,
one come out. You feel me?
you want to know who remind me of G-Rap in Scarface, but in our modern era, right? Who will remind me of them dudes? SP, the Ghost. From day one, his first SP lyrically, you feel me? On any track, SP going in. You feel me?
Absolutely.
He always street with it. He never forget where he came from. He always bringing that bag with him. Feel me? He always letting you. That's SP is the modern day Scarface G-Rap. You can go to any one of his albums. He talking greasy on it. You feel me? And there's a lot of rappers, but a lot of them got they not from like rappers like SP. You know what I mean? If you look at the locks, Jada lyrically nice. You feel me?
Absolutely.
The way he come, he got that.
Some will put Jada in their top 10, and that's big.
You feel me? Jada Kiss got bars like Lord Finesse used to have. You feel me? Like Lord Finesse. You know what I mean? Akinelli and them, like, he got bars. Big L. You know what I'm
Man,
saying? Like,
man.
he got bars. He came with bars. Like, he telling you clearly this, that, and the third, and it's clear. SP coming with the gunplay, murder play, and that's that G-Rap ever. You feel me? Pull up in the sedan, rock you in your man. You know what I'm saying? Like, you
Man.
feel me? So, like,
They could paint that picture.
yeah.
And where they could break down their syllables and their wordplay.
Absolutely.
The way
Yeah.
it's like, yo, this shit is crazy. This is hip
Yeah.
hop. This is crazy.
Yes, sir. Word is bomb.
Yeah,
Damn.
man.
Cool G.
Cool G
Peace,
rap.
peace G rap.
Word up. One of the greatest of all time in my book.
Right. Yeah.
Greatest of all time. To me, Cool G inspired Nas and everybody else.
Yeah.
Like when I listen to Cool G and I listen to a lot of the Queensbridge rappers that came after
Mm.
a Cool G rap, right? everybody, that was like the Queen style,
Yeah, he was way
gangster
beyond.
style.
He was
That
way
was like
beyond
the,
his time.
that's how I look at it. It was like, yo, this, yeah, Cool G-Rap was that nigga.
From
I
the
remember
wrist.
I remember the old videos on the box and shit.
He didn't really fit in. He couldn't really fit into all that dance and all that right there. He wasn't. That wasn't his mode. You feel me? You could tell. You know what I mean? Coogee rapping Polo. You feel me? And you put him on anybody. You know what I mean? You collab with him. Anybody collab with him. It's like, yo, G-Rap still got it, bro. Still got it.
Man.
Mobb Deep. When he collabed with Mobb Deep, he still got it. He collabed with Nas, he still got it, holding his weight.
All the
Like,
way up
yeah,
to now. When like I said, that song he got out with Griselda. I'm gonna look it up before the end of this episode.
right.
But and it was like, yo, this nigga's killing this shit, son.
Yeah.
I want to say it was on the 38 Special album.
Yeah.
I think it was on one of the 38 Special albums. I just can't remember which one, but the shit is fire though.
Right.
And shout out to Griselda too. I fuck with Griselda hard. They remind me of my favorite era of hip hop for my time. Like that mid 90s is my favorite era of hip hop. That was my teenage years.
I'm mid 90s too though.
Yeah,
Mid 90s too, you feel me?
I know. But you was just there from the, like I was a little kid. Y'all was in it. You dig what I'm
Right.
saying? Like,
Yeah,
that 80s flavor, y'all was in it. Like,
yeah. We was in the
y'all was
booth.
kids,
We was
12,
trying to get in the
13.
booth, trying to write our little rhymes, pencil and shit.
You know what I mean? Getting y'all motherfucking Adidas sweatsuits on.
Yeah, I never was big on Adidas. Pardon me, Run DMC, but
Nah,
Adidas never
you ain't
was
do
my
the Adidas.
style.
Nah. What was your style back then, son?
Tim's, bro, like for every situation, I was wearing
In the
Tim's and
80s?
everything. Oh, in the 80s, Nikes, you feel me? Nikes. There's so many sneakers. I could go way back, but I ain't even gonna do that on the sneaker game from the Lottos all the way, bro. Like, you feel me?
Used to rock the kangaroos.
Nah. Nah, I wasn't a big fan of
Kangaroos.
Filas and all that. That wasn't my style, you feel me?
Yeah.
I was definitely into that starter look. Feel me? Starter jackets, starter hats to go with the boots and the sneakers. You know what I mean? I was into that style. You feel me?
I think as a kid, my favorite sneaker was probably the Patrick Ewings.
Yeah.
I think that was the first time I was like, yo, I love these fucking sneakers. Like I used to like other sneakers with the color and but them Ewings was like the first sneakers. It was like, yo, I need the Patrick Ewings. Like that's the first ones I was asking for. You know what I mean? And me and Pop, we was living, I think, on 24th Street at this time. Or 23rd Street, where Dennis lived next door to us. I don't know.
Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I rock Adidas, bro. Listen.
I still rock Adidas.
For all those people out there, right? If you remember when you went to the movies on Easter, this is that time. When you went to the movies on Easter, when you and your family gathered up, you and your cousins, and y'all went to the movies on Easter, just to look at people gear, you feel me? That's the era we talking about right now. And those Adidas was heavy, bro.
Man,
you feel me?
The
with
shell toes.
Yes, they was heavy. They was heavy on your feet, bro, like bricks.
Loose laces and no laces at all.
And they was bricks on your feet. You feel me? The bullet toe Nikes. You feel me? Like karate slipper every man.
I used to get that's how we get our ass whooped back in the days with pop karate slippers.
Everybody wanted to be Bruce Lee, bro.
The motherfucking Bruce Lee's, bro.
Everybody wanted to be Bruce Lee, bro.
The blacks with the motherfucking brown soul.
Bruce Leroy, you heard? Bruce Leroy.
Oh yeah.
That's when the movies was popping for everything, man.
Everything
you know what I'm
was
saying?
popping back then. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I always say this. Like, if it was a way that you could, like, the best vacation ever, it would be to travel back through time for a weekend.
Yo, weekend.
Like a weekend. Yeah. Like nothing changes or nothing, but you could just go back and relive
one Easter weekend when you was a kid.
A certain whatever Easter, whatever that time is, but for one weekend, like, yo, I'm about to go back to 87 real quick. You know what I mean?
The only reason I say Easter weekend is because everybody got fly.
For Easter. It's like the first day of school.
Everybody got fly for Easter. The new clothes came out. People was copping new clothes. Everybody was wearing new outfits.
That was the start of the spring summer clothing line.
Yep. Yep. From Kufis to Gazelles, you know what I mean? To BVDs, you know what I mean? To Lees, to the Lees with the name buckles, you know what I mean? Rings, gold teeth that cost $30 in the Chinese store, in the Korean store, you know what I mean? You used to get the gold caps.
Get the
You know what I
gold
mean?
caps.
You used to get the gold caps with I used to get the frame. You know what I'm saying?
Frame out.
$30.
$30.
$30.
That shit crazy.
Used to have, bro, listen, man. Listen,
Crazy.
bro. Listen, bro. This the Beach Street, you know what I mean? Beach Street era, man.
Hip hop.
Word. Hip hop.
Hip hop. Greatest influence since rock and roll itself. Right? And I get rock and roll up to the blues, but we'll get into that's a whole nother
Yeah.
musical journey. You know what I mean? But we all stem of the blues, right?
I
That's
always
kind of
loved I always loved it. I always loved how we was more than just music. It was more than just music.
a movement,
It was a movement. It was breaking,
whole
bumping,
culture, brand new.
pumping, clothes, everything. It was everything. Your whole
Everybody thought
entire universe.
everybody thought it was gonna fail too. Like, this some bullshit. It'll be around for a year or two.
Yo,
And 51 years later, it's still
hang out.
it's the biggest thing ever.
Jeez. I remember when Salt and Pepper first came out, bro. You hear me?
Me too.
It was like,
Me
it's like
too. Them damn little cat suits or whatever the hell they had on in the Push It video.
I
What?
can't.
Yeah, I feel you. I feel you. But I'm just, we talking about Salt and Pepper. For me anyway. My wife
Right.
upstairs. My wife upstairs. But even as a little boy, it was like, yo,
Yeah,
who was that?
absolutely, bro.
Used to love
So,
that video. You ain't even, I was so young, I ain't even really understand the lyrics. I just know the dun 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 dun. dun.
choose the one you like. Which one you like? Be in school talking about them. Which one is yours? Feel me?
Yeah.
Which one is yours?
All three of them was bad, even though it's Salt and Pepper, but I still put Spinderella.
Spinderella.
She's
Official.
definitely a group member. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
that's like Jam Master J to me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's kind of on that level.
Yeah, but hip hop is definitely everything. And it was going into everything. And it was about to consume everything around you. The way you talk, walk, dress. You feel me? And
Forever.
it's forever. It's about to consume. It's everywhere. It's global.
Forever.
It's international, bro. Hip hop is international. I don't care what people say. I don't care if you're
Absolutely.
from Italy. I don't care if you're from Italy, Spain, France, whatever. Hip hop is there, and it ain't going nowhere.
It's
You know what I
not.
mean?
It's hip hop albums right now in every language, bro.
And it's not just the albums. It's the clothes, the way we wear our clothes. It's the jewelry, the way we wear our jewelry. You know what I mean? Like, you feel me? But you know,
It's one of the most influential cultures of all
yeah.
time.
You know, they deny it, this, that, and the third, but that's something you ain't gonna
For
deny.
as long as it's been around. Like, the music changed a lot, right? Like, everything evolved. Some of us like it, some of us don't.
Right.
Right? But it's still a form, or it's still part of that art form that we call hip hop. Now, I'm the type, I'm very critical. I'm the type that if it's too much singing and shit, to me it's not hip hop. I put it into a genre of pop hop, right? Like, it's hip hop based, but it's kind of,
Right.
more catered for popular style of music. That would be like your Drakes and shit, which we'll get into that once we
All right.
discuss the Kendrick and Drake. But
All right.
let's
All
get
right.
back on this rap battle though.
All right.
KRS-One, MC Shan, the Bridge Wars,
Right.
right? MC Shan drop,
Prince.
KRS, he respond, and in your opinion, it shut Queensbridge rap down.
In
How
my
long?
opinion, how long? I mean, like on a large stage, I'ma say it didn't completely shut them down, but it shut them down on a larger stage because you still have rappers like Molly Mall, the Symphony, and all that. Craig G, Tragedy, you still had them popping, but on a larger scale, the way the scale that Shane was on, yeah, it shut that down. You
Because you
feel
took,
me?
yeah, because it's kind of like you
You
knocked
took, you cut the
the
head
cap
off.
off. Yeah,
Yeah, you
right.
cut the head off. You know what I mean? You cut the head off, and you gotta understand that rap battle came with DJs too. You feel me? Red Alert. You know what I mean? Red Alert was
The
making his wave. You feel
DJ
me?
Wars.
Red Alert started making his wave. So with KRS-One, so it was like, all right, so Red Alert is this, that, and the third now. Morley Moore, you know, more music from Red Alert. You know what I'm saying? And it was like, now it had to be shared. The spotlight had to be shared. But KRS-One took the throne. Shan was, they cut the head off they cut the head off the monster of Queensbridge, and it was like they still had the function of Queensbridge, but not the top elite artists of Queensbridge. You know what I'm saying?
That kind
That
of
didn't
shifted over.
that didn't happen. That happened until Nas.
Nas
So
was the next big star of the
so from
Queensbridge.
the chopping the head off MC Shan situation with KRS-One all the way to Nas. And once Nas pulled that veil open, it was over. Queensbridge was back in there, bro, forever. They
Forever.
still to this day. You feel
Absolutely.
me?
Absolutely.
You feel me?
In my opinion, some of my favorite rappers that I could listen to and put on repeat still come from the bridge.
Yeah, but listen.
You know, album
But
for album. You know,
we
yeah.
ain't going that's further down the line, right?
So the bridge was it pretty much established KRS-One as a lyricist,
Right, right.
right?
A genius, a lyrical genius. Not a
Lyrical
threat.
genius.
Yeah, a teacher, philosopher, all that. Like he came with different style. You know what I mean?
The street philosopher. It's like that
Right.
conscious street
Are you a
philosophy.
philosopher? Yes, yes, yes. I think very deeply. You know what I mean? Like he came with a whole bunch of you feel me? D Nice. My name is D Nice. Come on, man. Every female know D Nice, bro. They know that song. Girls was in love with D Nice, bro. You feel me? Females was in love with that nigga, bro. And that song that I just said, my name is D, that shit was slamming. That shit was banging, bro.
Man,
You know what I mean? And then you had Miss Melody. You know what I mean? Rest her soul, Miss Melody. You feel me? Word up.
man.
First lady.
Pioneering.
Mm-hmm.
Laying that foundation.
First lady,
Grunt
first
work.
lady, first lady to KRS-One, you know what I'm saying? But you still had Roxanne Shante from Queens,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? Like,
Right. One of the illest, vicious pit bulls of hip hop we seen back in them days.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. Roxanne Shante, brother.
That was my sister's favorite rapper,
Yeah.
Roxanne
Yeah,
Shante, and then MC.
yeah, because they beefed. They had their little beef.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Light was nice.
So
Rox.
I used to hear Roxanne Shante, and when she was going against the other Roxanne Shante, you remember it was another Roxanne
Yeah.
Shante.
The real Roxanne stand up.
Yeah, so
That's where that Eminem, where the real Eminem stand, you know what I mean?
I ain't never noticed that.
Yeah.
That's dope. Yeah, that's dope. Shout out to Roxanne Shante.
Shout out to the
Shout
word
out to
up.
Roxanne Shante.
Roxanne Shante, bro. Like I can't even like I can't go further back than Roxanne Shante. That's Roxanne Shante is a staple, bro. A staple.
Absolutely.
Like she didn't get the recognition that a lot of other females got, like MC Light, Queen Latifah, and all that. She didn't become more than what they did become.
She didn't
TV person.
commercialize. She didn't
Right.
commercialize her.
Right. She didn't evolve into other things in her career, but she's a staple, bro.
Man.
That
I think
heart.
that's what make MC Light to me. Like I think on the street side, we respect, a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people will put Roxanne number one, right?
Right.
But
Right.
for overall hip hop of that era, to me, I would still probably go with MC Light, even over Queen Latifah at that era. Not
Right.
like through the years, but I'm talking about that particular era.
Right.
Because I think MC Light had a good balance of both worlds.
Right. She came off.
Like
You.
she
She
could do
came.
both. It was a good blend of commercial and street together to
Yeah.
where if you was in the street, you could respect it. You feel what I'm saying? If the street was too hard and you was more commercial, you could still respect it. You feel me?
Yeah. She was. She was gully and pretty, but not petite. Like too soft with it. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like she lets you know it could be sauce over here. You want to come over here with that shit. You know what I mean? And that's what I liked about MC. Like you feel me? Like you couldn't tell what she like. You'd be like, is she just standing there? I don't know, but she
Yeah,
just
she did have a tomboyish feel.
yeah.
Because she rocked,
It was
styles
cute
was
though.
different too. Yeah.
It was cute though. You know what I'm saying? She always had her hair done. You know what I
Always.
mean? She never acted like a man. You know what I'm saying? And it was like, where she's still lyrically nice.
Man.
She lyrically nice. She didn't have a costume. She wasn't doing a costume. You know what I mean? Like a lot, a Queen Latifah is nice, but
Absolutely.
Queen Latifah had the costume. You know what I mean? And it was another female. What's her name, bruh? What's her name? Man, it's gonna come to me, man. Give me a hot second, man. Light skinned female from can't get her name. Yo,
Think of a song.
no, it's the I can't think of her name right now. She was nice too. You know what I mean? Yo
She
Yo
was
was nice. Yo Yo,
Yo.
hold on,
Yeah.
not Yo. This is not who I was thinking about, but Yo Yo. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
She definitely was the lady, was one of the first ladies of the West Coast
Absolutely,
rap. That, you know what I mean?
absolutely,
Don't try to play
absolutely.
me out. Don't try to play me out.
My wife loved that, bro. My wife loved that. My wife loved that. My wife still love her, bro. My wife
Oh
love all
man.
of them. She just loses her mind. You play that in the car, she just start getting into
Start going
herself.
off. Start going off.
Yo, you want to change the mood? Yo, throw on one of them female rappers from old school, bro. It changed her whole mood. You feel me?
Man.
And she start rapping it and everything.
Start going in.
It's cute, bro. It's real cute. I love to see her in that state. You feel me?
Man. That's
That
dope.
joyous state. You throw on a yo-yo joint or a Queen Latifah MC Light joint, and she just start going in like, like these young girls. You throw on Nicki Minaj or somebody, you know what I mean? She
Yeah.
start going in with them. You feel me?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. See, that's one thing with my wife that was impressive to me because she know all the old school. Like I guess from being from the Midwest, maybe because they was kind of music kind of coming in from each direction, right? But she could sing along to like every song that you could damn near think of. So no matter how old it is, whether it's West Coast, East Coast, you throw on Pac, she got you. Mob Deep, she got you. And I'm
Yeah.
looking at her, and my wife, all little and pretty and shit. And then it's just like you start saying the hardest shit of it. And it's like, yo, I love her, son. Like, yo,
Hey, yo,
I love
this
her.
a crazy one. Back in the day, my wife. This was like when we first met. She used to have a Pac poster. You feel me? She used to have two Pac posters. And I remember one day I'm in her room, hating ass nigga I am, bro. I ripped the Pac poster. I think it was like this much. It was them big posters.
Yeah.
So I ripped it. I was about to trying to pull it off the wall, and it ripped. Bro, she lost her mind, bro. She lost her. I ripped the Pac poster.
Mad
How
as
you rip
hell.
my Pac? What? That was dope. That was funny. It was only a little rip, but the thought of me ripping her Pac poster black, she went blacked out, bro. If she had the AK, she would have just swept me off right there.
All because of the Pac poster, son.
She would have mopped my ass. Feel me? Like straight up, straight. She would have hit the switch and everything on me. It would have been over
Going
for
in.
me, kid.
Going in.
Over a Pac poster.
Over a Pac poster.
A little rip. She heard it. And I didn't mean to do it. I was trying to pull it off. You
Yeah,
feel me? Because
you
I ain't
got
like
caught.
staring at. I ain't like staring at another man. Hey, I'm a hater. Pac, peace, beloved. You feel me? Rest in strength and power up there. You heard? So went to pull it off. It ripped. She just came under the bed and just. You hear me? I'm
Man,
glad I'm still here though. You feel me? Glad I'm still here. You feel me?
that's one thing I like. Chicks love Pac.
Yeah.
Like chicks love Pac. Like it was, that was their favorite rappers for whatever
Mm-hmm.
reason. It was like, So I get it. My wife was the same way. Like she said, yeah, Tupac, that was my first husband. That's the shit. That's the type of shit I gotta hear. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
Tupac was my first. It's Tupac and fucking Ghostface. But anyway, right? So So anyway, man, we're gonna fast forward a few years later.
Hold on. Hey, yo, all the brothers that's paying attention to hearing this, females too, hey, yo, drop something on this right here. Like, if you in this mix right here with Pac posters and things of that nature, you feel me? And you beefing with or you used to beef with your spouse over something like that, drop a hit. You're
Yeah, absolutely. I want to
word is
hear. I
up.
want to hear those stories for real. Because you
Yeah,
talk about the wrong artist and you might fuck around have a bad weekend. Hey, goddamn,
yeah. Mm.
shit, crazy man.
But yeah, KRS-One knocked the head off, you feel me? And it ain't come back until, your boy, yours truly, man. Nasty, man, nasty. Nasty took it back, you feel me?
It was like doing them bridge wars, man. It was like MC Shan faded a little, because of that rap battle.
Yeah,
But
yeah, like that.
KRS-One became a hip hop legend
Yeah.
off of that
And
song.
they love each other, man. You
Yeah,
feel me?
yeah,
They don't
yeah,
despise each
yeah,
other. They love each other, you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
And KRS-One, you feel me? Love Shan and Shan. I love KRS. Shan living his life.
He established what he established. He was definitely a major player of the game
Mm-hmm.
that we look at as hip hop today.
Absolutely.
Win or lose the battle, whatever. You were still there. You was one of the forefathers that put the shit together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Salute.
The pulling the Shan came. Shan, I'm pretty sure Shan was part of that pimp era, coming through that pimp era, that fly boy era. You know what I'm saying?
That mid '70s type sweat.
And his lyrics was like, you know what I'm saying?
Man.
He did the Meek Mill. He did the Meek Mill. By doing the Meek Mill, he opened the door for KRS-One to come harder. And it was like, damn, ain't no coming back from that one, kid.
Nah.
Feel me? Or
For that
that's how
moment
I
in
said.
time, the bridge was over.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Right?
Yeah.
Long live the bridge, but for that time, the bridge was over.
It was on ICU. It was in ICU. You know what I mean? But a lot of, at the time, the bridge was the big heads was over, but it was brewing. It was brewing. It was coming up. You know what I'm saying? The young boys was coming up, coming to age. You know what I mean? The tragedies, Craig, they was brewing. They was coming to age. You feel me?
I believe that probably made them even hungrier. But anyway, back to it. We're going to fast forward a few years,
All
right?
right.
And there was a group from the West Coast named N.W.A, right? Truthfully, me being that young, there was a lot of things that I really didn't know or didn't even really want to I ain't going to say want to, but didn't like start learning about until after I kind of seen the movie. Because I knew that it was the beef with, Ice Cube and, the rest of them, but mainly like Dr. Dre and what was they
Easy.
managed? Easy E, Dr. Dre,
Yeah.
Ice Cube was going to really Easy E. I would say that was probably his bigger.
Right.
Right. That
Right.
was like the biggest beef within the group was the Ice Cube.
Yeah.
Easy.
He was a Suge Knight to the NWA, basically.
So you talking about, betrayal business and bars. That's gonna be the next title of our hip hop that we gonna
Betrayal,
rock.
business, and bars. Yeah, I
Right?
like that.
Betrayal,
I like that.
business, and bars. You
Yeah,
feel me? Because this right here kind of tie into all of that.
right.
They fell out over business. Right? Q felt betrayed because what was going on with Easy E. And I can't remember his last name. I just know his first name was Jerry. Right? Whatever the manager name is. I want to say I think it was like Jerry or something like that. Right? And then it leads up into a song that we like to say, No Vaseline, which is arguably one of the top 3 greatest rap battle songs of all time.
Yeah.
How did you feel the first time you heard No Vaseline? And if you remember, what was the environment like? Because I'm sure you was around somebody like other people. Maybe, you know what I'm saying? Maybe not the first time, but like during that era. Like what was the vibe in the city like?
He did this. He said this. He literally said these words. Let me say this too. Battles like that, like the ones we talking about, they can't even exist no more. You feel me? They can't even exist no more because of the wordplay that people use, right? Like Q literally said this, bro. The broomstick fit your ass so perfect. Like he literally said these words, bruh. You feel me? And it was like, what country he living in? Like who he rocking with now? Because it's like, yo, because if you like N.W.A, if you hear the music they play, and then one of them break off, and then start going after all of them. Not only just them, he was going after the entertainment space of them. The producers, all that. He was going after the industry. You know what I'm saying? And it was like, he going after the Jews. He going, you know what I mean? Like, you name it. That song was like a rebellion song to the fullest extent. You cannot diss a person harder than that, bro. Like if me and you was angry at each other and we was cursing each other out. Ice Cube, no Vaseline,
Start
no
spitting no
Vaseline.
Vaseline, niggas is fighting. So like, hold up, bro.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Like we gotta settle this outside, bro. Like
That no Vaseline album. If you said that to somebody in public, it'd get you killed, bro. Like literally. And that's how it was. It was like, yo, you feared for him, bro. Like you was worried about Cube after that. You know what I'm saying? And it was like, man, he ain't caring. Like he going all out this. And you know, when you young, this ain't no bridges over. This ain't that. This ain't that, bro. Like this on a whole different plateau, bro. You feel me? This is calling gangsters, such and such and such and such and such. You know what I mean? They producing. Like, yo, bro, he just destroying. He going name for name, name for name, name for name, name for name, raping them. You know what I'm saying? And it was like beautiful. It was beautiful. It was like the audacity, the brilliance, the bravery. You know what I mean? All that was all into one like snowball. It was like, yo, this dude is brave as hell. He's a rebel for real, like rebellious, bro. And that was that song, bro. The Vaseline was that song, bro. Like, yo, don't be afraid, man. None of these niggas. Any of these niggas can get it. And it was in that vein. It was in that vein. Any of these niggas could get it. And it was so beautiful to see it, you feel me?
man,
Word is born.
crazy.
I loved it. I loved it.
Man,
And I
Jay.
was young. And I was young, man. I was young and like I loved it.
But
You
look,
gotta understand his persona, Cube's persona at the time was to America. You know what I'm saying?
nah,
Like he had that America, the whole America, white America. You know what I mean?
man.
So and then when he went after them, it was like, bro, you ain't on my time, then bro. You feel me? I'm coming after you. And it was like, yo, that's so beautiful. That's so beautiful to see that nature in us. You feel me? Get on vinyl. You feel me? Just to let people know the true nature of how it could be. Yo, it was a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Yo, Q rap to the fellas on
Yeah.
that, bro.
Cause he was
You
the
feel
first
me?
one to really call out like the executives. Like y'all like fuck y'all niggas. This what y'all doing.
Yeah, I'm going dolo.
Like we doing all of it. This what y'all doing, right? Like y'all
Yes.
fucking up the financial side and y'all cheating niggas out
Robbing
of
us, y'all.
money.
Y'all
Yeah, yeah,
robbing us.
robbing the shit out of us, all that shit. You know what I mean? So
He's saying it. He's saying it blatantly clear. Jews is robbing us. He's saying the name. He don't care about that anti-Semitic and all. He don't care. He didn't care, bro. This is rebel music.
that shit
You know what I
was
mean?
that shit was the definition of straight to the jugular bars.
Yeah. This
Like
rebel music
I'm
right here.
coming for your head.
Yeah, rebel music, straight up.
And
Yeah, I don't.
what you gonna do
And,
about it?
and it's scary when you rap like, ain't no tomorrow, so I don't care. I'm saying what I'm saying. You know what I mean? And that's how it was. He was like, ain't no tomorrow. I don't care what y'all talking about, because I'm not thinking about that. All I'm saying is what's right now. You don't like what's right now, then you stuck in an illusion of tomorrow. Talking about you gonna be, you ain't coming right back. I'm dropping this shit right here, right now. You feel me?
Nah.
And it was like, yo, beautiful. The audacity. I know rappers, and the rest of N.W.A was like, the audacity. You feel me? They were speechless. You can imagine if you was
How
one
they
of them.
say it, Jay? How they say
They
it?
speechless. We're speechless. Yo, you
You
can
said the
imagine.
audacity.
The audacity. The audacity. Yo, you can imagine, right? Just imagine this. Imagine Q wrote that rap for Drake today.
I don't think Drake could get it off
If No Vaseline was written primarily for Drake today,
today.
it would have been today. Everybody on their mother would have been coming after you. You call him this, you said this, you did this. That's what I'm saying. Like, you can't even do that today, bro. You can't even do that today, bro.
Nah, nah,
You can't even do that today, bro. It's impossible.
nah.
Yeah, that was that, and the beat was feel me, like
What was that sample off of?
I can't think.
Yeah,
It was the scratching. And niggas keep Vaseline.
I'm trying to think of what they sampled. I gotta hear it to
Yeah, man. I don't even, yo. I think that was played. And not only that, remember Jackin' for Beats came before. I think Jackin' for Beats came right before that.
it did.
You feel me?
Jack and for
So
Beats came for No Vaseline.
if you think of how 50 Cent did that, know where he got it from.
See, 50 came, we're gonna get into that too, but 50 came in the game with How to Rob. And I think when he put out How to Rob, I think everybody like 50 been on that same shit to this day.
Jackin' for
Same shit.
Beats.
You know what I mean? Same shit. Like he was one of the, you know, that especially in that era, he was like the king of the mixtapes.
Yeah.
For that era. You know, that's selling your music. You know, like you'll go to the CD spot and you'll see 3-4 different 50 Cent mixtapes. You know what I mean? God's Plan and all type of shit. You know what I mean? And he's taking the old
I don't even
songs,
I don't
remixing them.
even know
You know,
I don't even know how old 50 is. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't even know how old 50 is.
I think
But
50, y'all about the same around the same age. He might be, I don't know if 50, I don't know if 50 yet. You feel me? He might be about like 48, you know what I mean? Type shit. Like he ain't that old.
so 50 was what? A teenager. This is the beginning of the 90s. You know what I mean? This is what 90, 91. You know what I'm saying? Like
Oh, you talking about with
this is
N.W.A? Yeah.
yeah, this is the beginning of the
Yeah.
90s.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like this is the turn. This is the start of the decade. You know what I'm saying? Like this how the decade coming in, bro.
Crazy. And what a
No,
decade it was.
no Vaseline coming in. You heard? Started
Pause.
off. You feel me? Pause. No Vaseline coming
No
into this
Vaseline.
decade. Coming into this decade. You feel me, bro? And it was like, yo, vainglorious. Cause Cube, you know, his first album, he had dreads. Then he cut that shit off. You know what I mean?
Ice Cube had dreads.
I mean, the Jerry
The
curl.
Jerry curl. Yeah.
You know what I mean? He had the Jerry curl.
The
You know what I mean?
Raiders hats and shit.
That's the album with dead homies and all that. You know what I mean? Dedicate this to my dead homies. You know that album. Feel me?
Man.
And then the second one was the No Vaseline album. It's like, you know what I mean?
So No Vaseline was on Cube's second solo album, not the first one.
Right.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. Because on the second one, uh, he had cut all that off.
Okay. Yeah, that's when he had like the short hair and shit.
Because on his first one, he had the Skelly, the Jerry curls. I think it was black and white. You know what I mean? One of the most infamous songs on it, the Dead Homies. You feel
Dead
me?
homies,
I
yeah.
dedicate this to my dead homies. You know, that song was infamous, bro. That song was real, bro. Everybody listened to that song, bro, back in
Yeah.
the day. That was like a thing, bro. Like, this is real out here. You know what I mean? It's because
What's
it was a
crazy to
window.
uh
It
what's
was a
crazy to
window.
me is to know, my fault not to keep cutting you off, but what's crazy to me is to know that Ice Cube was writing for all of N.W.A.
Yeah, that is crazy.
It was like Dre produced it, right? Q wrote it, Easy E did the marketing and the distribution.
That's crazy. That is crazy.
Like Ice Cube was going hard. Like everybody look at N.W.A. as a group, a legendary group, right? Especially on the West Coast. Like, and I do too. I mean, they legendary.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? But in my mind, that was like 75% just Ice Cube.
Just Ice Cube. That's if I'm correct, that's how NW. I mean, New Edition was too. You know what I'm saying? Ralph Tresvant was a writer for New Edition. You know what I'm saying? And you know, a lot of people didn't know that till it was all over. You know what I mean? Even though he wasn't the highest man on the totem pole in the New Edition, but Ice Cube, he had his little slot because you know they went in slots as they rap. You know, they all went in the booth differently. Like I think people ain't know that until it was time until he wanted his bread. He wanted his bread officially, and they was dealing with the entertainment system, and they was trying to play him out. And Ice Cube was like not having it, and Dre and them wasn't sticking up. I don't know how it went down. To be honest, with you. I don't know if the movie 100%, but I remember when when Easy E, before his passing, rest in power, Easy. Before his passing, Cube and them, they kind of like got back together. You know what I mean? For the sake of peace. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? To let the shit go. You know, and that was bold. That was inspiring too, bro.
Man.
To let them know wasn't that type of hate. It was just like
It's
it
pretty
was
much bad business, man. Just it's what happened when you let bad business get
and
in
friendship. And
in
friendship,
front of
it don't mix.
man.
You know what I mean? Word is wrong. That was a great era. That was a great time for me too because Tragedy, you know, that's my man. It's from Queensbridge, you feel me? He dropped this album, Intelligent Hoodlum. You know what I mean? That was my album. The 91, man, like that timeline right there. You feel me? Like I was in that. I learned about Malcolm at that time. That's when I was learning about Malcolm X, man, at that time, man. Like,
Right.
you feel me? Like learning about my heritage at that time. You know what I mean? Our black heritage at that time. You feel me? Because of rappers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was like, you feel me?
Yeah. That's why I
Made
rock with
me.
Nas.
Their Tragedy was the one that made me do investigations into Malcolm X, Marcus Garvey. You know what I'm saying? Because he used them in his music, Farrakhan. So I was like, I became curious, even though I liked the artist, but the things that he was talking and some of the things that he played made me curious to the point where I was like, let me do some investigation myself. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I learned. You learn through music. And you can see that imprint, what they did to me, the industry don't want them to do to young boys now. You feel what I'm saying? They don't want them to do that to the young boys of today. You know what I mean? So even names like Intelligent Hoodlum would not even get a play. You know what I'm saying? Like it won't even get a play. You know what I'm saying? Not even on the radio. And so that's the evolution of hip hop, like where it came from. Like, bro, you learn. KRS-One to teach you, make you curious about something, and you go do your own investigation on it. You know what I mean? Queen Latifah teach you something, and you go do your investigation on it. Now, rappers ain't the only thing gonna teach you is about guns.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You're gonna do your investigation on that. Different type of gangs. That's all that right there. You're gonna do your investigation on. You're
Yeah.
not gonna do your investigation on anything in Africa, anything in your heritage. None of that. You don't even hear that in music nowadays, man.
I think it went from freeing your mind to I'm gonna just take your mind out your head for you. You know?
I'm gonna literally take your mind out your head for you, bro.
You know what I
Feel me?
mean? Like that's where the era went. You
Yep.
know, crazy
Word.
man, crazy.
That's crazy, bro. How you say it like that?
I mean, look
Free
at the
them.
murder rate. Look at the murder rate of these young artists, man. I ain't never seen this shit in hip hop like that. You know?
Not only the murder rate, the incarceration rate
Oh yeah, oh yeah,
changed a lot. Feel me?
man.
So it's like, so it's like,
They dedicated a whole hip hop police force, bro.
yeah, I remember that. I remember that time. I remember that time. But
Mhm.
that was that Ice Cube time. You feel me? And then a couple few years later, voila. You know what I'm saying? Things changed again. You know what I'm saying? But it was beautiful, man. It was a beautiful time. There was that pivot, like 87, 91. It had its window of certain artists that came in and changed the game. A lot of things changed. The Queensbridge situation, the East Coast situation. It was like, yo, you feel me? All in a small window. So it was good. You know what I'm saying? And that was good. That was good for hip hop. It was good for the structure of artists, like because that made other artists come out. There is no yo-yo without Ice Cube. Like you just keep going down. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
There
Everything
is
had
no
to start from somewhere.
right,
You know what I
right.
mean? And
There's
or had to, you got the foundation, then you got the building blocks itself, right? When
right.
you look at Queensbridge, you got the, or Queens, you got, the MC Shan's Cool G raps. That's like
Run
the
DMC,
Run
LL Cool
DMC.
J,
Yeah,
LL
yeah.
Cool J. Like you just keep
L-
going and going.
LL Cool J is kind of a conversation by itself too, though.
Yeah, he Queens.
You
He's
know what I mean?
Queens. That's Queens, bro.
'Cause what LL was what 16 when Radio came out.
My radio. See, bro. See. You never watch movies like Crush Groove. You don't.
I
Crush
watched Crush
Groove.
Groove. I ain't watched
Crush
it when it
Groove.
first came out. I watched it when I could understand
I
it. But
watched.
yeah,
I watched it in the Fabian in Patterson, New Jersey. Kid, you feel me? Feel me? Fabian, Patterson, New Jersey. Crush Groove, B Street, Breaking. You feel me? They just go on and on and on and on, bro.
crazy,
You know what I mean?
crazy.
Anything hip hop, we was on it, jumping on it.
Man. So picking back up, man, on the West Coast, right? Then we got one of the industry rap battle that actually took the lives of two of our legends, and that would be Tupac versus Biggie / Tupac versus Bad Boy. Let's get into that.
Yeah.
Tupac, he doing this thing in New York, right? That's your Brenda Got a Baby. Even before that, you know, when he was with Humpty Hump and all them niggas,
Digital Underground.
Digital Underground. He started doing his numbers, got into movies a little bit, you know what I mean? Did the whole uh Juice classic, right?
Classic.
Classic. He rocking, rocking, rocking. They throw some dirt on him. He get locked up for a sexual assault charge where he wasn't even involved. Well, he wasn't even there at the scene
Right.
at the time that the sexual assault took place. And nobody else, and the other people that actually did the assault and didn't even get locked up for it, right?
Right.
He get locked up. He feel like nobody don't show him love. Out comes Suge Knight,
Right.
$1 million bill. He bails Pac out. Pac like, yo, I'ma love those who love me. And the West Coast legend was born.
At a young age.
Very young age. Pac died at 25.
Jeez.
Right?
Jeez.
So I think he was on death row, what, maybe 21, 2021. He was on death row a few years before his passing.
Right.
I think he dropped 3 albums. The last one was Machiavelli, which he passed, you know,
Right.
prior release to that. But I want to say he got about 3, 4 albums with Death Row. The All Eyes on Me, you know, he got a couple albums out.
Right.
Right. So let's get into that. Just that battle rap, that time.
Mm.
You know, we talking 95, 94, 95, 96, that 3-year period. Now, I'm in my prime in hip hop at this point, right? Like I'm young, and I ain't gonna lie to you, for a long time, but just because I'm from New Jersey, I'm from the East Coast,
Right.
right? And I did kind of feel like, damn, yo, how Pac go to the West Coast on us? You feel me? Like, and you repping the West hard, like, yo, you know. And as I got older and actually understood, Pac never said fuck the East Coast.
Right.
You feel me? He
Right.
never said that. But that's how we took it. It was like, Pac, you left, nigga. Like, you know, you like a California king now, nigga. You
was
said
banning
fuck us.
shit. Right.
You know what I mean? So really, if it wasn't for you and Keith, my cousin Keith, our cousin Keith was a huge Tupac fan. Down here, Keith was putting me on a Pac, and I'll be like, man, I don't want to hear that shit. I used to like that. I used to like that song with him and Bone. Be like, the beat was crazy, like dun 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 dun. Then the gunner come in, poof, poof, dun dun dun. You know what I mean? I called a victim living from how he said. I got a call late last evening, something from Cleveland telling me that my niggas such and such no longer breathing now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, when Keith put that on for me, I was like, yo, this shit right here fire.
Not only that,
You know what I mean?
Scarface, smile for me.
Yeah.
Man, come on.
Oh yeah. But that's why I say between you and Keith, I became a Pac fan.
Right.
You know, you broke down the science of Pac for me every night.
Every night.
Every night, nigga. You know what I mean? Every night. It was a lesson with Tupac. Like, nigga, you heard what he said? You know why he said this? You feel me? And then went into that situation, right?
Right.
But you look at that rap battle, man. We got some real good hits. Biggie pretty much responded subliminally, was more straightforward. So naturally, I gave a rap battle to Pac.
Right.
Right. Hit him up. Commercial classic, rap battle. Right. Arguably one of the best rap battle songs of all time. When it comes, not for us, but when it comes to a lot of industry, like I watch a lot of different shows where they touch on the subject.
That's all they remember. That's all they can remember, right?
And it's like, you know, to them that's like, because I think it touched more of the commercial scene.
Yeah, it was a commercial video.
It was a commercial video. It was funny. You know what I mean? They had, you know, the imitators of Biggie and Puffy in there.
Right, right, right.
You know what I mean? And they went after everybody. My downfall for Hit 'Em Up is that I wish Pac would have did the track by himself. I think Pac should have wrote the last verses out by himself. That's just my personal opinion.
That's why to
You
me
know,
it's not. It's not.
I agree with you. That's why to me it's not. It had the
Right,
potential of it, and it's a great song. I definitely
right.
put it up there as one of the great ones. You
That's
know,
why. That's why it's
but I
not.
felt like if he would have wrote that song out by himself,
Right,
it was over.
right. First of all, I was young, right? So Pac was what people call like drill music, murder music. Pac was murder music. You feel me? Like this versus you versus the police, you going all out tonight, like that type of music. That was Pac. Like you know, for me, you know, if tonight is that night when we might not come home, or after we don't come home, you know what I mean? Like, or if you just need that spirit, you feel me? Not drugs, just the music. You feel me? Pac was the drug. You feel me? Like, yo, I'm hot now. Let's rock. And it was like, I love Pac for that. Cause even if you like just want to get in your mind on some, I want to be alone tonight. Blow this one by myself. You feel me? It just
Just rock with
Pac,
it.
Pac.
Pac.
You feel me? And it was like that. That's how Pac was. Pac, whatever your vibe is, Pac had a song that could tend to that vibe. You feel me? But whether it was love, you know, hood love, brother love, mother love, you know what I'm saying? Whatever it was, Pac had a song that fit that vibe. You feel me? His catalog was all over. You feel me? If you want some peace, yo, you want to ball out California love. You feel me? Like you had a vibe for it.
Right.
If you wanted to hate on your peoples, like yo, F my name, all eyes on me. You know what I mean? Like it's just he had the vibe. You feel me? His beefs like just amplified that vibe when you want to just stick your middle finger up harder to those that you know banging heads with. You know what I'm saying? It's like just similar to that Cube vibe. You know what I mean? That same energy. But now you older and you know more, yet you still emotionally immature a little bit. But, you know, music is like waves that shit just pull you in, you know what I mean? And he rapped with passion. You feel me? He rapped with passion. And that passion had a tendency to pull you, to just, you know what I mean? To put you in his shoes for a moment. You feel me? And you'll follow every lyric. And it was like, yo, this is drill music. You know, this is real drill music. This is drill music. I was the first drill artist in my life, like literally, bro. I mean, like seriously, I was the first drill artist of my life.
That's kind of how I feel about X.
Yeah,
Yeah. I think X, like after Biggie, in my personal opinion, X was that nigga.
he was that drill music for you.
X was that nigga. I think X was so hard, bro. If a nigga was soft as shit and listened to DMX, that nigga was a stone
Yeah,
cold killer. You know what I mean? While that album was playing. Like
yeah,
that's
but
a, you
see,
know what I mean? It was the
mm,
passion behind it too. They certain artists got away. That's why when a lot of like when I listen to like when I look at like Drink Champs, right? And they do the quick time with Slime, and one of their main questions is Tupac or DMX,
right.
right?
Mm.
It's a good question, even though you'll lean more towards most people lean more towards Tupac, just because
His catalog
Tupac
is
whole way
larger.
his catalog long, and Tupac is infamously famous, if that makes sense, right? Like he's like infamously famous,
Right.
right?
He reminds you
Like
of the mob, and
think about it. In real life, he shot at two undercover cops. Like
yeah,
you know,
just the idea, right? So he Pac remind me of like the Billy the Kid stage vibe. You know, if you get the Merlin Monroe and the Billy the Kid and Wild Wild West, you know what I mean? Like he had that aura to him. You know, the biker, the dirty biker off the fly ass bike. You know what I'm saying? And it was like where you know what I mean, not selling out, not loving money, not lusting money. You feel me? I can have any chick I want. You feel me? Like, but I'm going for the smart one. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, yo, feel
And
me?
Pac was really about educating
Very intelligent.
our people.
Very intelligent.
You
But
know,
simultaneously, he targeted those who were on that side, if they were our people or not. You know what I mean? What people would call, you was a sellout. Or you in this for the wrong reasons. You know what I mean? He had targeted you. Technically, that's how I felt when he came after all the rappers against all odds. You know what I mean? When he came after all the rappers, I felt like he was making a statement. You feel me? It wasn't about the rappers. It was about they had the power to do more and they weren't. You feel me? They just was in it for the fame or for the fast check, but they wasn't doing nothing for our people. You know what I'm saying? And I think by dissing all the rappers, you feel me, made them say, "Yo," he wasn't saying no job. He was saying it straight out, bro. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care, but like, how you feel about it? You know what I mean? You're a man, I'm a man. Like, I'm calling it out. You know what I mean? You ain't doing shit for our people. You feel me? And I think a lot of people picked up on that. And that's why they respected him afterwards. You know what I mean? Like, well, he checked me. He was the first nigga to check me. I think a lot of rappers would say that. He was the first nigga to check me, bro. You feel me? Because a lot of rappers felt like they was untouchable. Untouchable. Think about what I'm saying to you, man. Biggie, Jay-Z, Nas. Feel me? What they doing for us? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. What they singing for us? Like, are they teaching us? They raising us? No, they not.
well, see, Nas was though.
Yeah, Nas was. Not in the beginning. Not in the beginning. Not in the
I don't
beginning.
know, cause that Illmatic album, bro.
Nas
Like,
wasn't. He
like,
was.
like
Nas was just
that.
painting stories. Nas was a artist. He was a painter, and Illmatic was his canvas. You know what I mean? He just painted pictures. You know what I'm saying? And it was beautiful because he painted the subway. He painted the New York sidewalk. He painted the New York walls. Like, he painted the projects. And it was like, yo, no matter where you from, you understood the picture. You know what I'm saying? And it was beautiful.
Absolutely.
And that's why Illmatic could go down as a classic. 10, what is it? 10, 11 songs, bro. You feel me?
Classic. Five mics.
Classic.
Classic album.
Classic.
My
Feel me?
favorite, two of my favorite Nas albums is probably Illmatic and Stillmatic.
I love the
Like it was
message.
written, was dope.
It
You know,
was written. It was written. Look, bro. It was written.
classic album.
Stillmatic and Illmatic. You gotta put three in that bank right there, bro. You gotta have three in that bank. I'm sorry.
It was written was definitely a classic. Definitely a classic. So that's the shit. You know, if I ruled the world, and
Yeah.
you know, Street Dreams Part Two.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? Like the shit was crazy. So I remember the
Yeah.
Street Dreams Part Two video. Shit was dope as shit back in the 90s. So.
If I ruled the world.
Yeah, man,
Yo, listen, man.
fire.
And it's all the songs in between that, bro. Like, You Can Hate Me Now. You just keep going, bro. That whole album is classic, bro. You know what I mean? His first album, he was a baby. He was a child on it. Second one, he was grown. You feel me? And well, he was a young man. He was, you know what I mean? And
Hate Me Now was on Nostradamus, I think. I don't think Hate Me was on It Was Written. I think Hate
nah,
Me Now. I think Hate Me Now came after
nah,
It Was
nah,
Written.
nah. I don't think so. I don't know. You can check that up right now, man. 'Cause I doubt it. I think that's on I Rule the World, same album.
Think so. I might be wrong.
Yeah, I think you wrong.
We're about to find out.
Yeah, you about to find out. You gotta think. Hate Me Now. I
You're
mean,
right. You're right. You're right.
Nostradamus
It
was
was
the one that
written.
he did a lot of he had a lot of people on Nostradamus, DMX, Scarface. You know what I mean? Like that wasn't Nas' thing. Nas didn't do a lot of having people rap with him on his album. That wasn't his thing.
It was.
You
It
feel me?
was on. It wasn't Nostradamus. It was on the I Am album. It's the
So the
one where
I
he.
Am.
It was the one where the album cover he looked like the Pharaoh and shit.
Hmm.
That was that
Hmm.
album.
I almost forgot about that album, bro. Word is bone.
Yeah, that was that album.
And you know what's the crazy
That
part?
was a classic album to me though.
Yes,
Like I Am was classic too, bro.
Nas took the throne back, bro.
Yeah,
I'm
that
telling
shit
you.
was crazy.
And you can imagine between all those albums, artists was coming out, Mob Deep, or you know what I'm saying, like Cormega coming home, like it just kept going. Az, like, bro,
AZ.
that's
AZ. Brooklyn nigga. You would have swore
Wu
he was
Tang.
from you would have swore he was from the bridge.
Yeah, yeah, Foxy. You know what I'm saying? Like Nature. You know what I'm saying? Like
Oh, yeah.
a
That's
lot
why I
of
said,
rappers.
yeah, Queensbridge, that whole movement is a whole nother conversation.
Yeah,
Because it's so
yeah,
much. You
yeah,
know what I mean? You know, Queensbridge, the Bronx. Like you got so much that came out of certain boroughs. You feel what I'm saying?
yeah. But
You know.
Tupac, I feel like Tupac. That's why, like, when people were like, "Yo, the situation he had with Nas," I think more than anybody, he respected Nas because Nas wasn't portraying that element that Jay-Z was, Biggie was. You know what I mean? Like, you used to go down the list. He wasn't in that vein with those other rappers. You know what I'm saying? But he still had the capacity, you know what I mean, to elevate people. And I think Pac genuinely just wanted rappers to get back on that time before the 90s. You know what I mean? And it was like he had to drill niggas into the ground to get back on that time. Because you got to think, after Pac passed away, a lot of rappers just started coming out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Rappers just started coming out of nowhere, bro. And I used to say, if Pac was alive, this rapper wouldn't be rapping. I remember I used to say that, bro. I used to literally say that. Pac would have came after him. You feel me? I think Pac and DMX would have liked each other.
Yeah, I think so too.
You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying? I think Pac and DMX would have really gravitated to one another, bro. You know what I
Absolutely.
mean? And because he would have saw authentic, you know, saw Deck X was authentic. He ain't care about none of it. He was just like Pac in a sense. He ain't care about all that shit. You feel me? Like X ain't care about nothing, bro. Like he
Yeah.
scared about his dogs.
Real shit though.
And that was the crazy part
Mhm.
about X. But when Pac dropped Against All Odds, man, yo, that was magnificent, bro. Artwork, man, that shook the core of the East Coast. Yo, that had people talking forever to this day.
So would you say that was Pac's greatest battle rap track?
Yeah, Against All Odds, bro. Hope in my true no shit I wrote. You feel me? And
I'm gonna listen to that shit tonight, son.
it's just the music itself.
Crazy.
The music itself and the way his chorus was, you feel me? It was like he was hot. He was hot. Just the way you said, if Pac would have did it Dolo from Hit It Up, he did it
Yeah.
on Against All Odds.
Against all
And it
odds,
was
yeah.
like he did it against All Odds. And it was like, yo, he ain't cut no corners with this one. He said nigga names. He ain't playing hide and seek with dudes. Like he's saying their names. He's saying their names from LL Cool J.
It's no subliminal. It ain't no subliminal
No
nothing.
subliminal, nothing. And it was like beautiful, man. It was like, yo, Jay-Z, Biggie, Nas, yo, whoever you thought was the king of New York, he came after them, bro. You feel me? And you notice he ain't go after all other dudes like, you know, small. He went after dudes with crowns. You feel me? He went after the crowns. He wasn't playing all like, yo, you just use a pup. Nah, he was going after the big dogs.
I
Big
mean, he
dogs.
said he said a few things about Mob Deep at
Mob Deep was on their way up. And
absolutely.
Mob Deep was on their way
Mob
up.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Mob Deep to me is one of the in my top five of some of the greatest rap groups of all time.
Mob Deep was the only ones responding.
Right? You know,
Drop a gem on them. Drop a gem on whole album. I mean, whole song, bro. Drop a gem on ASAP. ASAP. Hove didn't respond. Nas didn't respond. Big didn't respond. LL didn't respond. Whoever he said else in that did not respond. The only people that did respond was Mob Deep, and they responded ASAP. Drop a gem on them. Feel me? Feel me?
Mob Deep.
Rest in peace, P. Rest in peace to P. You feel me?
Rest in
Rest
peace
in
to Prodigy.
rest in
H
power,
and
bro.
I C, his solo album, H and I C, mother freaking classic, bro.
Yo, your cousin love that Jamal, man. That's that.
Yeah, I know that was Jamal
Yeah,
favorite.
Prodigy had, man. You feel me? Like Prodigy was different.
Prodigy was one of the dopest lyricists of that time, though.
Yeah, he was different. And his bars was
When
different.
he was like 14, like you know what I mean, like he had a voice that stood out. You know what I mean? It was
He
like a
didn't
you know.
he didn't do the normal bar set. Like he sung off key. Like you know how singers sing off key. He
Nah,
he rapped off key, and that's what made Prodigy like, yo, what is? You know what I mean? The way his raps was, you feel me? It was like off key. You know what I mean? And it was like, yo, he distinguished himself from the rip. No matter what song he was on, he rapped off key, made you just he set alone. You feel me? But you know, your boy Pac, man, you know, it reminded me of that Cube, Venom Vaseline. He meant it, like, and it was more beautiful because it wasn't a group. You feel me? It wasn't like Pac was going after a group. He was going after everybody that had the crown in rap. You know what I'm saying?
nah,
Word. That's how I feel about your boy Pac. First drill rapper artist for me, bro.
I agree with you because he drilled what he had to say right in your motherfucking head, son. If you ain't think about what, if you listen to Pac, you was gonna think about some shit.
I smoke a blunt to take the pain out. If I wasn't high, I'd probably try to blow my brains out. I'm hopeless. They should have killed me as a baby. Now they got me trapped in the storm. I'm going crazy. Forgive me. They want to see me in my casket. If I don't blast, I'll be a victim of these bastards. I'm losing hope. They got me stressing with the Lord. Forgive me. Got the spirit of a thug in me. In the seat, got me squeezing. Oh, yeah, listen, man. Listen. And that was on the when he came out of prison album. That shit was hard, bro. Me Against the World, bro.
Me Against the
That
World,
album was
a
that album
classic.
was tough.
I think that was
That
his
was
first.
tough.
That was his first
Yeah,
double disc album, right?
when he first came home.
Yeah,
When he first came home, that was the first album he dropped. Not to mention the albums he did with the Outlaws. You feel me? The Outlaws. You feel me? That shit was hard. Yes. Black Jesus. Black Jesus. Yo, he got a song on there going against the cops, bro. You feel me? Going against the cops, talking about how he killed cops. But he got, well, listen, man, Pac was all over the map. You know what I mean? And it was beautiful, man. But when he dropped that fire, the whole world stood up like, yo, what the? You heard what he just said? You see who he just named? Yo,
talk
him
about
too?
Against All Odds, referring back
Yeah,
to
him,
Against All Odds.
him too, him too, him too. Yo, he could never come to New York again. And he ain't worried about that. You know what I mean? He ain't worried about that. And that was that. Feel me? That was that.
Yeah, man.
Vainglory's. Vainglory's piece of work.
Yeah, man.
It made those he spoke about stand up, but they back against the wall and say, damn, I don't even know how to respond. That's exactly what it did. It made those he was talking about stand up, put their back against the wall and say, damn, I don't even know how to respond to this nigga.
Right? How could you?
How
You know how
could you?
big Pac was the biggest rapper ever. You know, at that time, he was the biggest rapper ever. It was Pac and Biggie.
Yep.
They was like big rappers. You know what I mean? And Pac was bigger than Biggie though.
Yeah.
You know, even at that time, I mean, we all, you know, Biggie would get Biggie the crown of the King of New York for the two albums that he dropped, which is
Yeah, but
classic.
Pac was beyond New York.
You know, yeah, absolutely. Pac was pretty much a global star at this point.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Pac was a star when Biggie was still trying to get on.
Yeah, he was leaving. He was leaving. He was trying to move to a different coast to have his flow move into a different coast type vibe. You know what I mean? That was his last album. That was the Biggie's last album. Was the agenda to do that? You know what I mean? To have his music more pumping into
Everywhere.
the yeah.
That's why Ready to Life After Death is probably my favorite
Yeah, because it had
Biggie's
that
work.
it had that global vibe to it. Like, yo, he talking that West Coast, East Coast. You feel me? Like all that. You know what I mean? And Pac was already doing that.
Yeah.
And the one thing about Pac though, and a lot of DJs will tell you, and I hear this from my cousin all the time, Jamal. The only thing I don't like about Pac, he should have used East Coast beats. You feel me? If Pac, imagine Pac with East Coast beats, saying the shit he said.
I agree with Jamal though. Because I think at that East Coast to me had better beats.
Yeah,
than the West Coast. You know what I mean? Like our producers and shit,
yeah,
the way we sampled and shit. I just felt like we was a couple steps ahead on the production was.
yeah.
You know what I
I
mean?
just can't.
You know,
I hear songs that's remixed on East Coast beats and Pac kill it. Pac be killing it, bro. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
But because Pac take me back to a specific time in my life. That's another thing. You feel me? It like when I think about Pac, it takes me back to a certain state of mind I had when I was younger. Thank God I survived it. You know what I'm saying? Thank God I survived that state. But I'm pretty sure it's just like when you hear DMX, it takes you right back to a certain state of mind you had when you was younger. And thank God you
absolutely,
survived it. You feel me?
absolutely.
Word up.
I was listening to DMX when I was driving from North Carolina to New Jersey to your crib by
Yeah.
myself at 17. You know,
Mm,
like I started driving up there. I was like 17 around that time.
mm,
You know,
word.
like X is one of my top three favorite rappers.
Passion. The
Mm-hmm.
passion that X had was similar to Pac, and X blew up directly after Pac passed away. Like
That get
he
done.
just he just filled the gap that Pac left when it
Yeah.
came to that passion rap. You know what I'm saying? It was like it was needed. Nobody was filling that gap.
Nah,
You know what I mean?
it wasn't because Hove, respect to him because he was,
Because he was old.
Reasonable Doubt is, other than a Blueprint, before Blueprint, Reasonable Doubt was to me Hove's greatest piece of work.
Yeah.
That first album was classic. The second album, and it's just a personal opinion, it wasn't my shit. You feel what I'm saying? I like certain songs like "You Must Love Me," you know.
Right, right, right,
No,
right,
I'm
right.
thinking about the S. Carter album.
I know what you're saying.
But
I know what you're saying.
I think the second album was the shit where he had like Black Street and Foxy and them on it. I think it was too commercial because they didn't have the success they wanted with Reasonable Doubt. It only went gold, I think it was at the time.
And they was chasing Biggie coattails.
They absolutely, and they switched it in that second album.
It was all about money
You know,
and wealth and things of that nature. And it was like, all right. So they
Life and
talking it.
Times.
Yeah. And it was like you could tell like they just left where Biggie. They just took off where Biggie stopped. You know what I mean? And it was like, all right, I got it. You feel me? That's why a lot of rappers today they still go to when you gonna stop. Like Nas say that. Like when you gonna stop riding Biggie like that? You know what I mean?
Nah,
Because that's exactly what Dame and them was doing. Like they found their lane through Puffy and Big. You know what I mean? It's the money talk, and
that's why
they
I
just
said.
rock with that shit.
That's why I said what you Biggie and Dame Puffy.
Going to that one.
Oh, we going into it. I'm happy that we talk about it now because that's the next thing I want to talk about.
Going to
My personal favorite rap battle or rap battle track of all time.
right. Fan
Nas
glorious.
Nas's Ether. Hands
Yes.
down my number one rap battle track personally. All right, because Hove did set a little fire when he dropped off the takeover.
I think it was just smoke. I think it was just smoke.
I think he lit. I think he lit it. It
I
was a little
think,
more than smoke. I think it was like I think he woke up a sleeping giant at that point because Nas
yeah,
kind of chilled out.
yeah, because you,
You know,
you hear the stories, right? And it's like everybody thought Nas was gonna do what Shan did with KRS-One. You feel me? Like subliminal, not really hard, not really come back, and then Hove was just gonna sweep. I think that's what Hove wanted. That's
I
what
think
Hove was
that's what Hove.
expecting.
I think Hove was figuring because he was moving more units that he established himself as the king in New York. And the only thing that was in his way, because remember, it was like who's the best MCs? Biggie, Jay-Z, and Nas, right? Big is gone now at this point. It's only
Hmm.
them two left. Right? Nas kind of slowed it down a little bit. He wasn't really trying to do all the commercial shit. He was, whatever album
Right,
he was dropping was what he wanted to drop.
right.
Hove was outselling Nas. Hove thought because he was outselling Nas that
That it was
naturally
over.
everybody was gonna be on his side, like Drake and Kendrick.
Sure.
right? Just like Drake and Kendrick. It's like
Yep.
Jay-Z was Drake, Nas was or Kendrick was Nas. You feel what I'm saying? The same kind of
Yes.
concept.
Yep.
And when Nas came out, when he heard it and he came outside,
Now he just pushed him into a corner like, bro, you're gonna have to respond. You're gonna have to respond. You're gonna have to respond, bro. Like, say something, anything, man. Feel me? No
that's why I
subliminal
say
shit.
I heard it when I was asleep. That this Jay-Z and Cockefeller Records wanted beef. Come on, bro.
And they went below the belt. Cause he had to go hardcore below the belt. Cause it's like, yo, why play games with these? It's fighting music now, man. Like I'm not playing. Like, just fighting music. Like, let's just fight, man. Let's just bang it out. You know what I mean? I'm gonna say everything to you to make you want to fight. The same if you was in an argument with somebody and they trying to provoke you to fight, you gotta say with to this person whatever it takes to make them put their hands up. You know what I mean? And that's just how it was, bro. When Nas came out and that song hit the radio, I remember it couldn't even play without Funk Master Flex stopping it like 1,000 times, bro.
Starting it back.
Started from the
Started back.
beginning. Started from the
Started back.
beginning.
Started back.
Started, yo, and just kept playing it, playing it, playing it. It was
Niggas
like,
used to yell when that, like the first time you heard that, like you can't help
doof,
but to
doof.
be like, yo, shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yo,
Like, bro,
turn this shit up.
from
Yo,
from
listen.
soon as it come on, hey yo, man, fuck Jay-Z. Yo, man, fuck y'all niggas, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck with your soul like ether will. Since you the king, you know you not. Got something across the belly, lose. I proved you lost already. Crazy, son. And that
And
was
it
the
said,
hook.
and it sounded like he was sitting down, like the way I'm sitting right here. And he had the mic, and he was just
Let
like
me
doing
talk to
this.
these niggas.
Let me see, like, just turn the volume up. I'm just talking, bro. I'm gonna just talk to these niggas. You feel
Yeah,
me? Like,
like
just
stop
like that.
playing with me. Put
You
some
just turn the,
respect on my name.
just turn the mic, just turn the mic up, cause I ain't raising my voice on this one. You feel me? That's just how he did it. Like, yo, I ain't even raising my voice. Turn the mic up, man. You feel me? I'm just talk to these niggas. Let them know.
That
Me
was one of
just
the
talk.
hardest. That was one of the hardest breakdowns of a rap battle ever. Because if you go all three verses, how Nas lined that shit up.
Not see. He went after everybody. Q went after everybody. KRS-One went after everybody. Nas went after everybody. And this is how you seal a deal. You feel me? Hey, listen, you and your minions, all y'all, can get it. And that's how Nas sealed the deal. Not, yo, look, I'm going after you, Dame, Rockefeller,
Everybody who
everybody.
wanted. Everybody,
Everybody.
everybody who, everybody who like your song, nigga. I'm gonna kill everybody.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Anybody could get it. Yo, you name them, they could get it. They with you, they gonna get it tonight. You know what I mean? Like, and it was beautiful, man. Epic. I love it, bro.
That's why I say, and the soldiers I can handle this for Dolo. And his manuscript just sounds stupid when KRS already made an album called Blueprint.
First, Biggie, your man. Then you got the nerve to say you better than Big. Yo, listen, man.
Dick
This,
sucking lips. Won't you let the late
yo,
great
mute that.
veteran live?
Yeah, you can't be saying stuff like that nowadays, bro.
I'll
But
mute it. I'll mute it. But yo,
see, that's what I'm saying. Like today,
it's sauce,
you
man.
today you couldn't even
Everything is
say
simple.
it. You couldn't even say you yo, these type of beefs in the past. You couldn't have today.
Nah.
You couldn't have today, man. You have the world erupting, man. You couldn't have these beefs today, and that's why a lot of people in our age bracket be like, "Yo, this ain't the same. This ain't the music." Because the music that we listen to, that Nas, Jay-Z type, that would have been on the radio
Absolutely.
right now. That's on the radio
It
this
would have been the
afternoon.
hottest shit on the radio.
Yeah, and he being completely disrespectful. He ain't talking about like killing your whole family and shooting y'all down in the head and nothing like that. No, he just it's fighting music. You feel me? It's warlord. It's this music.
It's
Knuckle
like
up. It's
eat the
knuckle up music. It's knuckle up music.
eat
You know
the
what I'm saying?
humble, eat the humble King Midas. That's how I look at it. When your head gets so big and then you hear some shit like that,
Yeah, I wonder how
you know.
Jay-Z took that, bro. That like the first time he said, "Yo, Jay, please, you hear this?" He ain't listening to it like, "Oh, this nigga came after." Yo, he really came after me, bro. Like he came after me, bro. Like
The way I imagine it, he probably didn't want to hear it the first time, so it kind of like went in one ear and out the other, like man. And then he left wherever he was at and put it on again, where it was just him. And he
Just like,
listened to it, and reality hit him. And that nigga sat in the dark corner and started crying. Son.
yeah,
Like that's how I imagined it. Like
yo,
ether was that hard to me, bro. It was like there's no coming back from that.
nah.
You could do super ugly and all that other shit, but there's
And
no coming back after
and,
ether.
and what we saying is everybody say. I mean, like, you got some people that be like, that Jay-Z joint was harder. What planet literally,
Yeah.
people would be like, yo,
And
what
I'm a
planet,
Jay-Z fan. Like, don't let me twist you. Like, I'm a whole fan. You feel what I'm
right?
saying? Like, I fuck with whole.
What planet you live on lyrically that you think that Jay-Z diss was better than Nas? Bro, what planet
Well,
you
that's
live
like,
on?
yeah, that's like people saying
I mean,
like
some
Drake
people
on the
got
back.
that. Some people got that, you know what I mean? But some people could feel that, but I'm like, bro, what planet you live on? I just can't. I just can't. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
man.
Like, against all odds wasn't all that. Like, but are you serious, bro? Are you serious, bro? My girl know that song, bro. You understand what I'm saying? My wife know that song, bro. That's how
Right.
much it was played. You know what I'm saying? Ether, my wife know that song, bro. You feel me? Like, these are songs that not only my wife, but my sisters, people that's older than me, younger than me, they know this music. They do. Yo, these were the songs that we talking about today, right now. The songs that we mentioned, the battles and the beefs that we just mentioned, that altered reality, changed the dynamics of rap. You know what I'm saying? Like, from KRS-One to Ether, changed. It was like everybody got knocked off their pedestal. And everybody. And these solo rappers that went after that battle, the beef, they went after the whole entire crowd around the person. They didn't just say, yo, you by yourself. No, they said, y'all get it. You know what I'm saying? Oh, y'all, everybody that's with you, getting it. You feel me? And it was like, yo, because that's the power behind it, man. It was like, and then it make you say to yourself, this person is got a death wish. You feel what I'm saying? These lyrics are Death Wish lyrics, bruh. You know what I mean? From Nas to Cube to KRS-One, like all of them, man. Like it's like, yo, they got a Death Wish or something, bruh. Like that's how it sound. The way they talking, like they got a Death Wish. Like they calling dudes bluffs. Like, bro, you ain't that.
Man.
You ain't
Man.
that. And
Yeah.
them dudes that's around you ain't. You know what I'm saying? Like none of y'all that. And I'm calling y'all out. And it's like, damn. The illusion has been pulled down. You know what I'm saying? That illusion, that fake veil of toughness has got pulled the fuck down. Y'all definitely wasn't that. Yo, Nas did that dolo. He said all y'all.
He did.
You know what I mean? It wasn't just you,
He
Jay-Z.
did.
It was Dame. It was Benny. It was all y'all.
Man.
Dolo.
Straight up.
You know what I'm saying? Went after
Yeah.
everything about you. Pac went after all y'all. All y'all. He pulled that illusion, that tough. He pulled out all that tough shit down. Ripped it off. Like, y'all not that, bruh. You feel me? Stop acting like that on your raps. You not that. You feel me? Q went after N.W.A, man. Like, what? All y'all. Easy. Yeah, with the pump shotgun and all that in the videos of this, that, and the third. Hanging out with you. Nigga, you ain't that. You feel me? Feel me rip this veil down for you. You know what I'm saying? KRS-One, Shan, Molly. Y'all ain't that. Hold on, let me pull it. Queensbridge, what? Y'all ain't that.
Right.
You feel
Right.
it
Right.
was, and it's like, yo, they ripped the band-aid off. It was like in the illusionary veil got pulled off, and it was like everybody went into shock. Like, it ain't that. You feel me? Open people's eyes, man. It was like, damn,
Kind
bro.
of like the whole 50 and Ja Rule shit.
There we go. There we
Right.
go. Yep.
Because you look at that situation. Now, granted, Ja did have, some hard tracks. You know what I mean? But
Ja was popping.
where he really shined at was on that commercial shit. Like
Yeah,
Ja had the
absolutely.
airwaves on lock. And anybody that tried to deny that,
Yeah,
shut the fuck up. Like that's you know what I
yeah.
mean? Shut the fuck up and
Murder.
give him his credit. For that time period, that 2001,
And what did 50
you
do?
know, you know.
And what did 50 do? Hold up. Y'all ain't that. Let me pull his veil off. You know what I'm
Nah.
saying? Let me pull this sheet from over these people's faces, man. They can't see y'all. Man, they can't see y'all. Let me pull this shit down real quick.
Cause see, to me, I think Ja Rule had one of the worst diss tracks ever with Clap Back. You gonna clap back? We gonna clap back. We gonna
I tell
clap
you,
back. It
listen,
was like
listen. It was the
my nigga.
Shan. It
You
was the
know,
Shan situation, man.
you know. I think
It's,
anybody that know 50 though, right? That no mixtape 50. Cause see, a lot of people, if you wasn't in the street, you didn't really know who 50 was. Cause he never really had an official album come out. Like even
right.
Power of the Dollar, you know, that was really like an unofficial album.
I
You
ain't
know
no
what I
50
mean?
like that, bro. I ain't no
A
50
lot
like
of
that.
people ain't know 50 like that.
You know what I mean? But he
Jamal put me on the 50 Cent.
more.
Jamal. When
Yeah.
that nigga was out in the city hitting his CD spots up, and I was looking and I was like, yo, what's this right here? You know, that's when I first seen Power of the Dollar, How to Rob. And Moore was like, yo, he was like, yo, you don't know who 50 is? I was like, no, I don't know who he is. And he was like, yo, this nigga here, like, he next, bro. Like, blah, 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 blah. And I
Yeah.
promise you, and I ended up buying the Power of the Dollar album, which it was like a mixtape. You
Right.
feel what I'm saying? And when I heard when I heard How to Rob, I was like, yo, this nigga's crazy. So, you feel me? Like this, because like you said, he went after everybody
Pulling the veil down.
by names, but it wasn't just pulling the veil down. He was going after niggas that was certified hard. Like you feel what I'm saying? Like he
Yeah,
was
they played
going
that on the
after,
radio. They played
you
that
know,
on the radio.
nah, nah. They was going after the Terror Squad niggas and DMX. He said shit about DMX, said shit about Wu Tang. It was like, damn, these niggas, you know what I mean? Like this nigga going to everybody, like, man, I'll rob all y'all niggas. Fuck y'all niggas.
Still look at John Rule like,
So then you
I think 50 Cent, I think he calculated Ja Rule. Cause he was like, yo, to be, it was like he had to be the villain for a minute. You know what I mean?
man,
And so he was like, listen, Ja Rule got the money, the fame, and the girls. So he was like, he was like, yo, I'm gonna be a triple threat to this nigga. You know what I mean? I'm gonna do the vest. I'm gonna get that Pac aura. You know what I mean? That's the women. I'm gonna get the cars, the presidential statue. You know how he did his video.
man,
That's the money. You feel me? And I'm gonna have, and that's the power. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna show you. I don't need 1,000 niggas to do all this.
right,
I'm gonna do it dolo. You feel me? And I'm gonna come after y'all. And my crew is gonna be called a G unit, prison lingo. You know what I mean? Gang unit.
right,
You feel me? And it's like he triple threaded it. You know what I mean? It was like, all right. Cause I remember seeing, I'm like, yo, all right, this nigga doing the vest, the do-rag, you know what I mean? Going hard, the workout shit, like he in the
man.
prison yard.
Yeah, like he just came home and shit. Like, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yep. And it was like, all right, and he going after Ja.
I think 50 been the villain since day one. To this day, 50's the villain. He
He like
just
he's the
know how to,
Joker. He's the
you know,
Joker villain. He's the Joker villain. Like he like to laugh. Like he's the Joker villain. You know what I mean? He was like, "What you mad? What you mad? What you mad? What you mad?
keep
What you
poking
mad?
at you and shit. Like,
Yeah, but what you mad? But I could fight. You know what I mean? Like it ain't nothing. You ain't saying nothing. Like what you mad? I be mad though. You know what I mean? Don't act like you want to come over here. Like he got that. He got that.
nah, nah, nah.
And he went after John and it was he drilled Ja. He didn't just go after Ja. He drilled Ja. And they
Jay,
didn't let that song go off the radio, son.
this
That's
nigga, this nigga brought out, this is way years after the beef, right? This nigga brought out like the first 4 rows or something of one of Ja Rule concerts just as a reminder that nigga, I'll fuck your ass up. So now you got them performing in the arena, and the main first couple rows is all empty because they know, 50 owned all the tickets. Just cause.
it.
Like that's why they call 50 petty. Like, you feel me? Like shit is crazy, man. So when you look at like, and that's how I feel too with the Irv Gotti passing
Yeah,
with
rest in
50.
peace, Irv. Rest in
Rest in
peace,
peace,
Irv.
Irv. Rest in peace, Irv.
Like,
Absolutely. But on 50 side, if you think these men tried to take you out, it was kind of like it wasn't surprising that 50 will still talk shit and tell jokes during that Pacific, during that time.
Right. Right.
Like me, I would have just stayed quiet, let it, you know what I mean? Like, but when you in that kind of beef, it's I dig it.
Yeah,
Nigga
50 is
tried
a
to kill
play.
you. Nigga shot you 9 times. I dig it. Not saying that he did it, but that team, you feel
Right.
me? He did it.
Right. But you know, everything was big in that time because a lot was happening. The mid 90s, from the mid 90s, you know what I mean? Like, a lot was happening. Big got killed, Pac got killed. You know what I'm saying? Like, new rappers was coming out. It was like so much was happening. Jam Master Jay got killed. The gunplay in the rap game started to escalate to a different level than it ever was. So I think it was easy for 50 to talk about being a survivor of it. You feel me? Being a survivor of the gunplay the same way that Pac did. They shot me 5 times. You feel me?
Man,
He just took that and was like, word? This was you know what I'm saying? Like, all
took
right,
it in his
bet.
smile. How
Yeah,
Pac said that shit. Shot me 5 times. I took it and smiled.
yeah,
Them lyrics will come back to me.
yeah, yeah, that's the lyrics.
And then, I think 50 took that and then he came out with his line like
He amped it up nine, you feel me?
gentlemen, it was like, blah blah blah. You ain't strong enough to take 9 like me. You know what I'm saying? Like, 50-50, man. His music kind of start sounding the same and shit. So, he kind of moved past it.
Right.
But back
But
in them days when 50 was young, hungry,
yeah, so he
get
had the
rich,
same
really,
energy.
really on that mentality of get rich or die trying.
Yeah. Plus the
Like
movie came out.
50 was that nigga.
The movie came out, Get Rich or Die Trying came out, so that put him on a big screen
Man,
along with his music. You know what I'm saying? And it made him likable to like a bigger audience. You feel what I'm saying? A larger audience, especially the females and such. You know what I mean? The love story of Get Rich or Die Trying part, you know what I mean, was like, yo, this is dope.
man.
It had a lot of females and all that, you know what I mean? All in it. You know, good girls always got that thing for the bad boys, right? So it was like, yo, they love 50 because of that shit. Just the same way they love Pac. You know, good girls love the bad boys. Bad boys was the Pac, the 50s. You know what I'm saying? And that's how they ran. And
Absolutely.
that became a chunk of their audience. A large part of their audience was the good girls.
Girls, yeah. Man.
The good girls, not the bad girls. The good girls. The bad girls was on Biggie. You know what I mean? Like, you got to think about that. A lot of bad girls, they love Biggie.
They love
Good,
Biggie.
the good girls, they love Pop.
Right. Nah, nah, nah.
Good girls love Pac, bro. They love them some Pac. Feel me?
That nigga was dating what's that pretty chick from the movie
Yeah.
Shame? She was a Shame. You know what I'm talking about? Low down dirty Shame with
Nah.
Keenan Ivory Wayans and Jada Pinkett.
Jada Pickett. I know because he was on.
Yeah, I know with the different world and all that.
Yeah, yeah. He was
Yeah,
on Different World and all that.
yeah. They was in art school or some shit together. But I'm talking about he was actually dating. What's her name? Like Sally Richardson or Sally Richards.
Yeah. I
Yeah, she
never seen.
bad. She bad. She kind of remind you if you see a picture of her, you'll be like, I know who she is.
Man, Pac was hanging out with Madonna, man. Shit
Yeah,
like that, bro.
he dated Madonna. Madonna came out and said it after, like, like she really had feelings for Pac and all this other shit.
Same way that 50 did with, what's her face?
Vivica, Vivica
Okay.
Fox. Yeah,
And he was smutting chicks. And that's the crazy part about 50. He'd be like, yo, she ain't that. Man,
man.
fuck, he just ran through her, got rid of her fast. You feel me? Like, I'm on to the next one. Just smutting chicks out. Like, yo, oh, she wanted this. She wants some of this. All right, she can get it. Then she get to the bag. Like, she ain't getting the bag or nothing like that. You feel me?
I
But
think my favorite two rap battle tracks though from 50 is probably Your Life's on the Line and Back Down.
bro, I haven't.
Those are two of my favorite. Your Life's on the Line is Scream Murder. I don't believe you murder. Fuck around and leave you. Murder, murder, your life's on the line. My niggas don't want no parts of me. You trying to figure out how y'all started me. You know what I'm saying? Like,
It's like, yo, he was just pulling the pulling the veil down. Like, man, y'all not that, bro. Stop talking
man.
that shit, bro. Y'all not none of that.
And then when Back Down came out off of the Get Rich or Die Trying album.
And you know what? A lot of rappers turned it around on him and started saying like, yo, you not like that.
How that
You
nigga
feel me?
say that shit? That nigga said, man, now that 50 back around, how we gonna eat, man? Some shit he was like, he was like, nah, that's just Jalo punk ass thinking out loud. Nigga said, you're a Pop Tart, sweetheart. You're soft in the middle.
Yeah.
Like, nigga, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, shit was crazy, man. Great times of hip hop though.
Yeah.
I really do hate that the Biggie and Tupac situation
Escalated to that level.
ended up the way. I wish they would have kept it hip hop, man, and ain't nobody die, bro. Like I wonder what hip hop would be right now today
Yeah.
if Tupac and Biggie didn't die.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Even, you know, a lot of rappers that passed away, man, it's just like you could just see the potential in rising. It was like, bro, they was taking off the planet too soon, bro.
Now, see, to me, that's the difference with that, right? Because a lot of the young Nipsey Hussle, yeah, legendary. Like I rock with Nip. I rock with Nip with mixtape
He
Nip.
was different.
You know what I mean? And this is no shout out or no diss to no coast or anything like that. But I was primarily East Coast hip hop.
Right.
Like that was the shit that I was feeling. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? A lot of West Coast stuff. It was just a different groove. Like not saying they ain't lyrical or nothing, but for me personally at that time, I was pro East Coast.
I'm pro
You
East
feel me?
Coast.
And then
I'm
when the
pro East
game,
Coast.
and then when
Oh,
right, like because he had like a New York flow with him, but he was still
right.
Cali.
Right.
And it was like, yo, this nigga is nice as shit, son.
Yeah, the game is nice.
And
Yeah.
he ain't give a shit either. He was like a light skinned West Coast 50.
Yeah.
You know,
Hmm.
he was younger and
Talk.
shit,
He
but you
talked
know,
like Nas. He talked like Nas, but he from the West Coast, banging blood, banging Paru, and it's like, yo, that was different. Yo, I used to listen to Game all the time. Feel me?
man.
And
Game first album, the documentary. First
yeah,
two albums, documentary and the Devil's Advocate. Fucking classic albums.
no, it's documentary and documentary too, right?
Yeah, documentary two came out few albums and years later. But his first two was documentary, and then after because he was only on G Unit for that one album.
Because I really like it's certain West Coast rappers like MC8. You know what I'm saying? That I still remember the lyrics in my head from like certain events. Growing up in the hood, yeah, boy, 1984 was the year my peers didn't know what was in store. A little hard-hitting kid came to age, time to pay my dues, learn the tricks of the trade. This from Boys in the Hood, bruh. That's from Boys in the Hood. MC8 did a soundtrack off that, man.
MC8.
Yeah, MC8, man. You don't know who that is? That's
Of
from
course. Come on, man.
Menace Society.
Man, I know who MC8
Y'all
is.
motherfuckers pass. That's MC8, man. The OG, man.
Man.
Driving a whip. Like, y'all niggas pass me the motherfucking weed. Shut the fuck up. Like, feel me? MC8, man. I'm not king because West Coast got slang.
Yeah.
You feel me? And
Yeah.
you gotta know that slang. And, you know, their beats are different. But
Absolutely.
it's certain some West Coast rappers that they have a feel, a worldly feel. Like you get, no matter where they rap at, you understand them. You hear them clearly. Like when Snoop first came out, Snoop had that.
Absolutely.
When Snoop first came out, Snoop was
Since
loved everywhere.
first
He was
album, Snoop
everywhere.
technically to me was a major star.
Yeah, from
First album.
his first bar.
The way that him and Dr. Dre put that album together,
Yeah. Not a,
doggy style.
it's not even that. Listen, remember he did a soundtrack for
To
Deep Cover.
Deep Cover.
Deep, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You know what I
that was
mean?
our
And it
that was our
was
first that was
that
my
was his
first
that
time hearing Snoop Dogg.
Yeah, that was the first time. And it was like, yo, he killed it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
but I'm not a Snoop follower. I don't follow Snoop. Every song I don't like, I wouldn't buy his album. I wouldn't buy his album. My dad, you know what I mean? But I love his art, but I'm not gonna go buy his music.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I did get doggy style when I got the dog food album.
You feel me? Like
Those are the main
that's
two albums of Snoop that I actually went out with my own money and purchased. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like Doggy Style, I was in like sixth grade or some shit when that shit came out.
Come on, man, you itching on film, dog. What are you
When
doing?
it's just gin and juice, I feel like something bit the shit out of me on my arm, bro. Like I'm trying not to, but it's like, damn, son. Gin and juice
Mm-hmm.
was like that commercial hit that hit everywhere.
I didn't buy it. You just
You know
listen
what I
to
mean?
that everywhere. You ain't even got that shit was
Walking
playing everywhere.
around the street, smoking window,
Yeah.
you know, classic shit, man.
So what you think about what's new waving right now? Somewhat new waving. You know, it's a little behind us now with the Drake and Kendrick situation compared to that which you know of rap beefs in the past.
Going
Feel
off
me?
of what we just talked about, right?
Right,
I think for this era of hip hop is one of their greatest rap battles. Like the kids today, the way we talking about the rap battles that we came up with, they're gonna be talking about this rap battle.
like,
Just because of the star power,
like,
right?
but how do you feel like the beef played itself out? To put it in that category, it had to do something to either side to make it go into that category.
Well, it's the
You know what I'm saying?
setup of it. It's the setup of it, right? You got Drake. Drake
Right,
been the number one artist for years,
right,
even bigger than Lil Wayne, which Lil Wayne was the one who put Drake on,
right.
right? He
Bigger
grew
than,
up Pat bigger than everybody, right? Those
right,
niggas sing, rap, write. Like Drake is an artist. I can't take that away from him. I'm not a big
right.
Drake fan. It's not my style of music. But I respect what he was able to accomplish as an artist.
And he nice.
And
He's
he
nice.
is. And he did this in an era where niggas is not buying albums no more. Everything is streams and you feel what I'm
Right.
saying? Like he's like that artist that other
Every
artists
day.
look
Every
up
day.
to, right?
Every day on the radio.
Like
Every day.
if you was a commercial rap back in my day, you know what I'm saying? Then you looked at Jay-Z like that. Like he was like the biggest hustle rap that actually you saw the success of. Like they own their own record labels and you feel
Right.
what I'm saying? They had the cars and all this other the big pimping video.
Right.
The big
Move.
pimping
Play
video.
play with people around the world. Different cultures,
You know
different
what I mean?
environments.
Yeah, DJ Clue on the radio. You know the Clue tapes is the classic shits.
Right.
K Slay. I knew that DJ name was gonna come to me when we
Right.
was talking earlier
Early. Right.
about who brought Papoose on and shit. DJ
Right.
K-Slay. But going back to that, like DJ Clue, like the Clue mixtapes was everything.
Right.
You
Right.
know what I mean? So now you look at it like new today. You got the biggest selling artist, and then you got the artist that's actually a very big seller, right? He's just
Low
not
key.
low
He low
key,
key with low
low
key.
key, right? So then it happened exactly the same way that the Jay-Z and Nas beef took place. You got the biggest artists like yo, I'm the king, right? They called them the big three. But if you listen to them songs, Drake always try to separate himself. Like it's the big three, but I feel like it's just big me. You feel what I'm saying? Like,
Mm.
you know, and Kendrick was like, nah, nigga, like when it come to rap, bar for bar, I will destroy everybody today. Like today, where hip hop stand today, I'll destroy everybody. And lyrics is still there. Like you still got, niggas that's still nice lyrically, right? But the way Kendrick put the shit together, it was incredible. And not like us to make that shit into the number one club record. Think about how big this song is. You perform this song at the Super Bowl. It don't get too much bigger than that right there when it come to a commercial style rap beef.
Right.
I am happy that it is commercial industry beef though. It's
Right.
not a street beef. You know what I mean? A year from now, you liable to see them niggas dapping each other up and all that other shit.
Right. He ethered them.
He ethered them.
He ethered them. Straight
He
out.
ethered them.
No cut.
He ethered them a couple, meet the grams and shit. To me, he ethered them. Because he was talking to Drake Soul on that, like nigga. You feel me? I think Not Like Us was kind of just like the cherry on top.
See, I took it like, I looked at it this way. I said, look, he silenced Drake. He silenced him. You know what I mean? It's like getting punched in your mouth telling you to get the fuck out the room.
And then Drake went and told, because now he tried to do the lawsuit and,
Drake
you
got
know,
punched in his mouth.
and went and told.
You feel me? Right? He got punched in his mouth, told to get the fuck out the room, and he left.
And went and told.
Right? He did. Like, he couldn't. Like, he was afraid to bleed, and Kendrick gave it to him like that. Get the fuck out the room. And Drake turned around and hauled ass. You feel me?
Right.
And that's that. That's just how you cut it.
Right.
You feel me?
Facts.
You know what I mean? Somebody in a fight, somebody punch you in your mouth.
And you
There
don't
ain't
do
no
nothing.
talking. There ain't no talking. You just hooking.
You
You'll see
just
that punch.
swing. Win
You
or
seeing
lose.
that punch. You see that punch coming. You're already in your field of punching back. You know what I mean? Like, I ain't, nah.
Word up.
Bang. You know what I mean? You just hooking, taking the nigga out, whatever, right? But it's like Drake got punched in his mouth like a good boy playing a bad role and was told, yo, get the fuck out the room. And Drake said, and walked out the room. You know what I mean? It's like
I don't
that.
see
It's like,
another rap battle being that big probably in the next decade. I think those type
and
of
that,
rap battles happen every generation. Like
and that's
every
what hurt.
decade.
See, this, he wasn't a Meek Mill. Kendrick wasn't Meek Mills.
No. Kendrick was Kendrick.
Because Meek Mills came on some MC Shan shit. You know, just did this, thinking it was going to be resolved.
No.
Nah, Drake wasn't having it. You need to do more than that. You feel me? You can't talk shit to Drake. You got to punch him in his mouth. And Drake would have left. Because Drake ain't like that. You feel me?
Yeah.
Kendrick wasn't going to do this. He straight punched Drake in the mouth. Boom. You feel me? Drake is off the radio. You know
Man.
what I'm saying? Like, he
Yeah.
literally off the radio. Drake he drop a single like every 2 weeks, bro. Like literally, like Drake dropping singles like every 2 weeks. You feel me? Like on the radio is something new for Drake.
To
They
not
play,
dropping nothing.
yo, they drop every song in his album. He'll do an album, they drop every song like it's a new hit. Every song like it's a new hit. You feel me? And it's like he never off the radio. You feel me? He never off the radio. And after Kendrick punched him in his mouth and told him to get out the room, silence though.
Now granted, him and Party Next Door, they put out a little R&B album. And
Yeah, I ain't never.
number wise it did good. I tried to scan through a few tracks, just to see if something was on there. And I mean, it's not really my thing, but I mean the numbers are good though.
All right. But
Yeah. Drake, I think Drake, the
he still
worst
walked out
thing
that
Drake
room.
did, was try to force a lawsuit. He should have just took his loss as a man and kept it moving.
Right. He told
Took
police.
his loss as a man, took a vacation, came back, and went and go back to work the normal way. No more beef, just you making the hits that got you to where you are today.
Or beef.
You
Or
know?
beef. Or beef. Or, you know what I mean? Say subliminal shit.
Yeah, I think after that battle, I think he better off just leaving Kendrick alone.
Because I feel like
If they ain't on the
people,
track together, Jay,
I just feel,
leave that man alone.
I think Kendrick's album was one overrated. I just think it blew up because people wanted beef. They just want. I'm not saying it's dope, but I'm saying like it's not like it's the best thing since sliced bread, man. You know what I'm saying? Like you feel me? It's not
Oh,
the best thing since sliced
all right.
bread, brother.
Not to us, but you got to think of who it actually caters to, and
Yeah, but
what they've been listening to.
right.
You feel what I'm saying? So to the newer generation, this album was Nas Ether. Like it was, you know what I mean? It was Stillmatic. It was like, yo, this one of the greatest albums ever. Like I definitely get it. Like my wife, bro, played that Not Like Us and shit. Something they just came back like last week or something from going to the Kendrick Lamar concert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Like so it touched it,
Right. It has a feel
it
to it.
had a feel
And
to it.
I'm just saying, like maybe because I'm not into like that Kendrick style.
That's why I like this album versus other Kendrick albums.
I'm not into Kendrick's style like that. Therefore, like I'm not like gravitating to every word he's saying to it because it's all that subliminal shit to me. When all of the this ain't a movie, dog. Like you know what I mean. I don't want to sit through this and try to figure it out. Be straight up with it. Every diss album I ever heard, dudes was
Straight
straightforward,
with it, man.
straightforward. Like
You
you know what I
don't think
mean.
Not Like Us was a straightforward?
It had a lot of things you had to figure out what he's saying. It wasn't either because Nas was straightforward, word for word. You know what I mean? Mustache having with whiskers like a rat
Compared
compared
to
to being
beans, you
you
whack.
whack and your man stabbed under made you take the blame, you ass. It's straightforward. You know,
Man,
this little nigga named Nas think he live like us. Talk about he left the hospital to fire like us. You live in fantasies, nigga. I reject your
check your
deposit.
deposit.
You feel me? We shook Drake punk ass. You feel me? Like he out of the closet. It's straightforward.
Man,
You know what I mean? Kendrick wasn't on that time. Kendrick on some Sinners. You ever seen the movie Sinners? He on that time. And it's like, yo, you feel me? Like you had to figure it out. Along the way, you'll learn more and more what
Not
he's
Like
saying.
Us. Like Us was a direct record to me.
It was direct to you?
To me, it was.
Yeah.
I think what he was saying was clear.
Claire's, all right.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't. He wasn't going after everybody. He was going after his enemy,
Right.
Drake. I think that's the biggest difference. He wasn't naming other names.
I mean, he was going
You
after
know what
his
I mean?
crew. He was going after his crew.
Yeah, but I mean, like he was more so targeted on, like he'll say a few things, party at the party playing with his nose down, shit like that.
Right.
But I think that most beef, he was like, Drake, I'm about to fuck Aubrey up. I'm fucking Aubrey up, and that's what he did. No prison, like no mercy. He
No
fucked them
cut.
up all the way from it started to the Super Bowl.
So let me ask you a question. Not like us. Is it street? Is it
In today's street, I believe so.
in today's street?
In today's street,
So you think young boys, Ryans out here, they playing not like us.
I believe so. I think it was that big. I think when niggas looked at like bitch ass niggas, you'd be like, bro, like Not Like Us could come into mind
The
on there.
slogan that come to your mind, the slogan.
But the song, just the song in general. And now the thing is with Not Like Us, it's not a grimy street song. It's a club anthem.
So
You feel
maybe
me? That's a
I'm,
diss
I'm
record.
looking for I'm looking for something
I think
different.
you thinking about Rada music. Like when like all the other rap battle music that we talked about is what we would say was Rada music. You feel
Yeah,
what I'm saying? Like this is club music.
because you got to think
But the
when
genius of it is club music, right? But it still has that battle rap. I just fucked everything up feel to it. And I think that's what make it
so
part of that list.
let me ask you this question. Meek Mills is nice,
Yes.
right? When Drake came after Meek, he came after Meek. They had that shit on the radio over and over, 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 over. Why he couldn't do that to Kendrick? You think this? You
Drake
think they?
did now, I gotta give him credit. He did put out a few songs during this era where they was battling that was good songs. You know what I mean? That was good songs.
Is it a song? Is it a song that Funk Master Flex would be like, yo, play that again?
Not for me.
Because he did that when he went after Meek.
Yeah, not for me.
Play that again.
Not for me. I think Kendrick was dropping so much hard shit, Meet the Grams, and Kendrick dropped like 5, 6 diss songs. You know what I mean?
So not
Not
like
Like
us.
Us. Not
Let
Like
me ask.
Us is just the biggest one.
So let me ask you a question. It's not like us. Worth Funk Master Flex saying, yo, play that again.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right.
Absolutely.
That's it.
Absolutely.
If you
My
gonna
my
hear,
personal opinion in today's music, Not Like Us is one of the nicest battle rap songs I heard since in this decade.
yeah,
Since 2020, I'm gonna say that. Since 2020, Not Like Us had the biggest impact of a battle rap record that I heard yet. And I think with people live in this generation from 2015, 2025, that's the Drake era to me. You dig what I'm saying?
right,
Like that's the
right,
Drake era.
right.
I think this song it ethered that whole era
So is this
because no matter what else Drake put out, right? Is
at this point
Not
in
Like
time?
Us is like damn, so he
At
fucked that
this
nigga
point,
up.
At this point in time, Drake is officially
Ja
Jay-Z
Rule.
after
Yeah.
Ja Rule or Jay-Z after Ether.
I gotta see the thing that I just can't fuck with, man, is the lawsuit, bro.
The Law.
The lawsuit that he put
Uh,
out on Universal Music to try to get Not Like Us played no more and all that other
oh, he
shit.
did some Puffy shit. That's some Puffy shit.
Yeah, but I don't respect that though. Like,
That's
just,
some
you know
shit
what I
Puffy
mean?
would do. That's some shit Puffy would do.
That's some shit Irv Gotti would do too. Like, remember 50 jumped with Dr. Dre and Eminem because Irv Gotti had that nigga blackballed everywhere on the East Coast.
Mm,
You feel what I'm saying? Like, same thing with Pac. Like, Pac went to the West because nobody fuck with him. He like, damn, son, we over here. Nobody getting me the fuck out of jail.
mm-hmm.
You dig what I'm saying? So, yeah, absolutely. Now, it's Not
Right.
Like Us the greatest rap track ever. That's going to be a personal opinion, and my personal opinion is no.
Right. Because
That's my
I
personal
listen
opinion.
to it. I listen to it. I'm just not into that style.
The style.
Feel me?
Yeah,
I'm not into that style.
yeah. Kendrick has a style that's
I'm not into that
yeah. There's a
as
lot
a
of shit.
rapper.
Yeah, yeah. Me
Right.
neither. I like that grimy shit. Like, I
Right.
came up with the grind. That's why I fuck with Griselda.
Right.
Like
Right.
Benny the
Right.
Butcher, 38 Special, El
Right.
Camino. You
Right.
know, that's
That
my shit.
is it clarity. It's like, yo, stop talking to gibberish, bro.
You
It's
know what I
just,
mean?
you
Conway the
feel?
Machine. Like, as soon as the beat drop, it's like, yo, this shit about to be some hard
It's
rider
flush.
music.
Yeah, it's flush. There's no like gimmicks to it. I'm not into the gimmicks with rap. You know what I mean? Like, it was hard for me to even be an Eminem, to even appreciate Eminem, because I'm not into gimmicks.
Right. Oh yeah. Yeah. That's why I say it took me a minute. It took me a minute. We had that conversation earlier. It took me a minute to get into Eminem.
You feel me?
Shout out to
Busta,
my boy Chuck David Bowles, my dude. You know what I mean? He was the Eminem of that time
right?
for me. You know what I'm
And
saying?
when I say that, like, I'm going far. Like, this is how I always been. I mean, from the Busta Rhymes days. You feel me? Tribe Called Quest days. I'm going way back.
Nah.
You know what I mean? I'm going way back. I wasn't into the gimmicks. It had to be straight, uncut, raw music. You know what I mean? Law Finesse. You know what I mean?
You like the street shit.
Tragedy.
You like the real
You know,
street
yeah,
shit.
yeah, straight, boom,
Real street shit.
Nelly. You know what I mean? All the gimmicky rap I was not into. Even though Busta is nice. You know what I mean? Busta is nice
Yeah.
lyrically. But the
Absolutely.
gimmick, but when he first came out, he came with the gimmick style.
Yeah. The woo ha got you
Yeah,
all, with the
yeah, I'm
crazy clothes and
nah,
all that shit.
that's not cutting it for me. You know what I mean? I'd rather listen to Mobb Deep.
You like the grimy shit, the gritty shit.
I'd rather listen to Mobb Deep, son. And that's just how I am. So Kendrick, like, even still, that's how I am today. Like, even the way he flip his bars, you feel me? To me, it got that gimmickry rap. It's like the way he talk fast and then he talk slow. He talk fast and then he talk slow. You feel me? It's like, that's how he rap. It's somewhat clear, but it's still like a and,
It's the way you
and,
break it down. I feel you,
yeah,
man.
yeah.
Yeah,
Feel me? So
I feel what you're saying. I feel
it'll
you.
make me tune out. It'll make me tune out fast. Because I'm not into all that.
That's not your thing.
Right.
Yeah. I dig it. I dig
Not
it.
saying I don't appreciate brother, and I know he got bars. I'm not saying that.
Yeah. You respect
But
them, but it's
yeah,
just not your thing that you put in your headphones
game, the
and you go
game,
listen with.
the game, the way he rap, straight fluid. You feel me?
Nip
He's
too.
straight at it. And Nip,
Nip
straight
too.
at it.
Like, to me, Nip was like the king of Cali for me personally.
And Nip, straight
Like,
at it, bro.
like that, man. That Victory Lap album, bro. I could play that shit track for track right now.
Straight at it.
Track for track. It's fire.
Uncut. All the gimmick, cut all that out, bro. We ain't clowns with this. And that's how I appreciate my music. You know, I mean, it's like getting certain food, how you eat. You know what I mean? That's how you eat. You eat in a certain way. You feel me? That's how I listen
Right.
to music. I listen to my music in a certain way. And I tune out if it's not in that way. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that I don't listen to bars because I'm a writer. You feel me? So I listen to what the artist is saying,
And how they
but
break it down.
I can't listen to it over and over so I understand it completely, because I tune out. You feel
I feel
me?
what you say.
And that's just how it is, man. With
I
me,
feel
man.
what you say. Man. Shit, on that note, I think this was a classic convo,
We
right?
got a lot. We got a lot out of
From the Bronx, from the internet rappers, rap battles, you know what I mean? All this stuff shaped the culture that we know hip hop because it started off with DJs, breakdancing, and
it.
battling.
Yeah. Yo, don't forget the basement flavor, man, where it all began. You feel me? The
Basement
basement
flavor.
flavor, you know what I mean?
Basement flavor. Shout out to the Coliseum as well.
Absolutely, man.
You know?
Yeah. Yo, shout out to my brother, man, VI, man. You know what I mean? He out there in DR, man, wishing he was over here, man, right now, you know what I mean? But you know, that's just how it be, man.
Absolutely.
We trying to get over there where you at. You know what I mean? You trying to get back where we at. I don't know how that work. He by the ocean. You know what I mean? With everything. We trying to
Yeah, man. A motherfucking black 8-ball jacket. We'll talk about that later though. Anyway, man, Jay, you froze up on me. So anyway, hip hop. Love it. Comment, post your comments, who you think should have been on this list, and we'll get back to you. Peace.